Championship hosted by Coin Poker, and I'm in a call with Kaki, iWasOnly17, and Prodigy. And yeah, I'll let you guys hang out and take over. What's up, Kaki?
Yeah, not much, man. Just chatting to Barack about various things off stream. Some interesting topics. And he was just bragging that he has some sort of lucky item to own. Please explain.
New item. I can't say much anymore.
How much do we have to pay you?
You already heard the value of it. It can be worth millions. I can't explain.
Yeah, I mean it is. I've seen how you run. Like.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
GD per 100.
Unfortunately, I didn't use it on the 100k MTT, so it was pretty expensive. It was a great 300k tournament, though. A very good field for a 300k.
you have fun. You have fun. Money well spent.
Yeah, a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
What are they doing for rake over in an event like that?
6% for the first bullet, and for re-entries you pay 4%.
Okay, it's interesting.
And you get the free hotel, you get free food and stuff. It's not too bad.
Yeah, I mean it's a lot of money, like a 300k entry, 18k. I mean, you can give me as many free hotels as you want. It's probably not going to be worth 50k of rake.
It was only a 300k entry for Barack.
Yeah. Other people paid 100k.
I got you, but I do prefer that they do this kind of all-inclusive stuff. You know, it feels more like status. You know, back in the day, you fly on the airplane and all the shit's free. Now you fly on the airplane and it's like $10 to take a shit or whatever. Pretty tilting.
What airplanes are you on?
Imagine they start charging for toilet paper, though. It's believable. If you go to the toilet, that's fine, but if you need toilet paper, that's money.
Do we need to dismantle the capitalist state, Kaki? Is that what's next?
We should do, bro. I'll recruit you later, though. You know, you got a lot of push-ups to do first.
I'm all yeah, definitely. Yeah, Sam took my gym membership money yesterday.
Oh, fuck it.
Yeah.
He's a nice guy. Maybe he gifts it back.
Yeah, he like, we got into a 60 big blind pot on the river, and he min bet in position, and then told me thank you for the groceries. So
how bad was his hand, out of interest?
He had top pair. I like bluffed a pair and then checked the river, and he min bets, and I was like, I knew this motherfucker was doing it. Okay, fine, take your big blind.
Tell us about this Jarsam funny business pre-flop, guys. I've heard rumors. Please explain.
Well, he has decided that any size which appears in a solver is the work of the devil, and instead he's going to 3.5x the button and 5x from the small blind. Not like 5x free bet, by the way, just 5x open. And yeah, that's just his thing to keep you on your toes.
But not every time, I'm assuming. Like just sometimes.
No, this is his thing. Well, against me, it's every time. Maybe he's mixing it up versus other people. I'm just getting the business every time. His free bet sizes are pretty freestyle though. Like those ones, he's definitely been moving around. It might be like a stack depth thing, and I just haven't paid enough attention to see exactly what stats it moves from like 6 BB to like suddenly it's 12. But yeah, I mean, I assume he's just playing some splits or whatever. It's
yeah, I saw some of his small blind 3-betting against button, like smaller sizes. It's interesting, right? Because maybe you guys study a lot against larger sizes, and now he's forcing you to continue wider pre. You know, it could create some mistakes.
Yeah,
either that or people defend incorrectly pre-flop, and he's got an advantage already. Because it's probably not a monstrous EV loss to size down pre. Or do you know more than I do about that topic?
Yeah, it definitely can. Like, if you can if you can narrow down the mistakes you expect people to make, it can, there definitely can be edges to it. Like I've caught myself in some spots like thinking I had like stone bottom of range and getting ready to blast it off, and then realizing like, oh wait, no, we have like a lot more hands than this. Maybe need to spin this one. Yeah, I mean, it does force you to think a lot more. But then also it could be said that getting regs off of autopilot maybe isn't the best thing, because everyone's paying a lot of attention to him at the tables, because he draws it on himself. So.
Yeah, I think that there's like a nice little bit of fear element that comes with intentionally playing different strategies, even if it's just with some sizings and stuff. It reminds me of a dude called Shark Nebula, who maybe Barack knows. I'm not sure how old you are, Barack, but Shark Nebula PokerStars, 2008, 9, 10, 11, 12. He was interesting reg that played full ring, and he would like limp raise and stuff, 4x a bunch of random spots, like play unconventional pre-flop. But he was actually one of the biggest winners on poker table ratings. Playing up to 5K.
I was in not even in high school back then.
No.
Yeah, I'm 28.
Okay.
Barack has like old wise vibes, but they're just vibes.
Yeah.
What did Kaihan check back, Barack, where you had the king queen and you check raise flop bet turn and checked on a king river giving you a full house? Did he give up with dust or did he have showdown?
He checked pretty quickly, so I assume he had something, but
I don't know. Show, right?
I can see, yeah.
Yeah, fuck. Yeah. What do you guys think about No Limit Hold'em if everybody stopped playing no ante and was forced to play ante, just to make the game a bit more deep, and a little bit less solved and that kind of stuff?
I mean, I think we'd get back to where we were. I mean, it's the same.
It's a lot wider in a lot of spots, though.
Yeah, I mean, like heads up is a lot wider, but people are like very accurate in heads up. I mean, obviously, like they've got less to do, but I don't think the spots inherently being wider is going to make them. It's going to mean that people won't eventually work them out. I mean, I think like wide range spots are just more skill expressive in general, because it's like. Well, I mean, you can make arguments the other way that when combos get really tight, being able to nail down things very precisely has skill to it. But yeah, I think wide range spots where you have lots of things to consider and it doesn't just like neatly set up into like one player blasting off with a polar range into another player defending are more interesting. And there's just more going on and there's more freedom.
Yeah, I played.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be mad about it.
I think especially like big ante, where it really forces you to have like ridiculous VPIP in some spots is quite interesting. I don't know how it would play in Hold'em, but I played some PLO ante recently, where like in a 7 max game, total antes are almost 3 BB. And you're playing like 80% button and 60% cutoff, and it's fucking retarded format.
Yeah, the problem with them for me is that you just end up with so much multi-way.
Yeah, but that's again just super hard to solve, right? It's more about rewarding intuition and creativity in a kind of uncharted territory, don't you think?
Yeah, but it can also be like when things as things get more and more abstract, it can be harder to solve from a machine perspective, but that also means it's harder for humans to process it and come up with actually interesting strategies. I think a lot of those massively multi-way spots, people are having to simplify things down quite a bit just so they can keep everything in their head and keep an understanding of stuff. Whereas I think also in multi-way pots there's there's a lot of I really dislike having the fact that like someone else is, how other people are playing like messes up your interactions with other players. Like I like the like 1v1 like fighting aspect of like once you go post flop. I mean, I guess that's because I'm a heads up player as well. But I like trying to like outplay the guy across from you rather than to, just sort of making these plays where you're having to approximate so much against a field of players, whose like actions are all sort of covering and obscuring each other. I hope that makes some sense.
So you're a multi-way fish.
Yeah, and he relies on solver. He's a solver nit, basically.
Yeah, multi-way fish. All good.
Yeah, that's me, multi-way fish. Yeah. And that's why I play. That's why I like playing heads up. It's just like my biggest weakness is gone from the game. Like, don't have to deal with it.
There's a limper under the gun. You fucked.
Oh yeah, no, I'm so out of here. Like, you guys have fun. I'll be back next hand.
Oh, you playing much live over there?
Yeah, I play some like live PLO and stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, not very well. It's pretty fucking bad, to be honest. But I don't know, just for funsies, really. I've not made that much money live, but I don't know. The games are just a lot of fun. It's kind of like party atmosphere more so than like.
There's some ridiculous hookers and blow games that I know about happening in Vegas.
Yeah,
the people I know play. Are you in these games, or what are you doing, bro?
Okay, some of the games have got pretty fucking wild, but yeah, I don't think people would appreciate any specific stories.
Well, don't say who's there, obviously, but you can say if you went.
I would say, okay, so there was a game that I went to where there were a bunch of girls with their tops off going around, and some things were being left out on their chest for very generous tips, and that was a pretty fun time. I had a great time. Not sure I made money that day. But yeah, like some of them get like it's more like a house party than a poker game, I'm just there to enjoy myself. Like, and then
you're just there with your headphones on, locked in, playing 22.
I say I'm enjoying
the corner of the table.
Yeah, I like the vibes. But yeah, I've got headphones, hoodie. Like, I don't talk to anyone. Like, I don't even make eye contact. But I do enjoy what's going on around me.
Yeah, no, it's funny stuff, man. I'm curious to ask you about this. I read some post at some point. You, Doug, heads up some sort of misclick call. Do you know this story, bro?
Oh yeah, this is like. Yeah, and I just like misclick call 9 high thinking I have a flush. Yeah. Yeah, I get memed for this so often. Like, no one's ever gonna let me forget this one. Don't worry.
Wait, you haven't found the video yet, Kaki?
Is there a video of this?
Yeah, we have to find it. We have to find it. It's probably pretty easy to find it.
In my defense, I basically been up for about like 30 something hours at this point. So yeah, the cards were getting pretty.
No excuses. No excuses, please.
Yeah, he got a piece. It was his money getting bunted. I remember. I think like a little bit beforehand, like I texted and was just like, yeah, I'm like really tired, but I'm not sure. And I was just like, hey, just keep playing. We'll see what happens. And then like an hour later, it's just like, so I may have pulled down thinking I had a flush with 9 high.
Was he bluffing with better? what was the showdown?
He had trips. Yeah, we worked out afterwards that yeah, no, we were thinking about it afterwards because it was like, so he was saying, oh, you can like, because he gave me the whole bet back, right? And then, but like we were playing some like PLO game afterwards, not a hookers and blow on, a very nice, friendly game in the lodge, regulated. It was actually, we were playing like 1-2 PLO, like not 100, 200, just $1, $2. And it came up that he could have been bluffing with worse, and my 9 high could have been good. So then it was like, oh yeah, Doug, you got to be careful. Like people could free roll you. Like there's no slack.
Yeah, I have a feeling if that happened, then you might have been giving him the bet back. So I don't think it was some ridiculous free roll kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, also you can you can watch the clip and you can see my reaction, the genuine surprise as I flip over my hand, and I'm just like, wait a fucking second, like. Also, it was like I thought I had hearts and I had spades. It wasn't even close. It wasn't hearts and diamonds. Like it was.
Was the rest of your play in the hand acceptable, or did you just have a dry flush draw that you didn't even have? Or did you have like a gutty or something as well?
I think I turned the flush. Yeah, I think I just turned the flush and check called down. It's kind of funny because like for like before he bet on the river, I was thinking about raising him, but then I was just like, like this is probably a bit thin. It's a paired board with only a 9-high flush. So I just was like, I'll just like snap in the call. But if I raised him, it would have been really funny because I might like muck the cards and like never realize anything, and everyone would be talking about, wow, he floated down just to check raise the river. I wish that happened, honestly. Like that would have been the best universe. Except for Doug would have just called and I would have lost because he doesn't fold rivers. So yeah, he calls, I say flush, and then turn over. Maybe that wouldn't have been good.
You say flush, he mucks his cards. The dealer puts them into the muck, and then you table your cards, and you win the pot.
Yeah, I don't think that's how. I mean, at that point, he gets the pot. Like, yeah, it's not gonna. I'm not gonna be rules lawyering him. You know.
No, just joking.
Yeah. Well, at least I've got to say that now. You know. Yeah.
I'm looking for a video. One sec.
Aren't you playing poker, man? You can do that. We can get the video.
It's all good. Only 6 tables. I already found the date of the messages, but there's so much spam going on.
When are you leaving, Owen? Or you got like a extended visa kind of thing? Like how long are you staying in Vegas? Oh, he's muted. Yeah, not much discussion of the poker, unfortunately. Probably something we could do at some point, but who wants to do that? Tell us a hand that's been going on, Barack.
Yeah, I don't know. Too many hands. You can ask me, but too many hands.
You play any big pots today?
Yeah, I had a few big pots. The problem is I just don't remember any of them right now. Like if you show me the hands, I would have been, oh yeah, that just happened 10 minutes ago, but that's just how I am.
Oh, and you're muted, by the way.
Yeah, I just finally had a way to sense a llama, and I had to use it. But now that power's gone.
We got Sea Llama here.
What up? Wait,
Welcome back. Are you alive?
is this the The Zohar himself?
Yeah, yeah, baby.
I think we're echoing.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
All right. All right. Brock.
What's up?
Let's talk about it.
Yeah,
You ready?
yeah. No, 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 no,
No, come on, Brock.
He realized.
no, no. You can talk about anything else, but you are not
I'll
allowed
talk
to.
about the fact that I just was in the hospital for the past 24 hours. If you talk about the truck,
No,
you're not gonna talk about the truck.
no, I'm not allowing you to
That
talk about
luscious tailpipe.
it. You can talk about anything else, but I'm not allowing you to talk about the truck.
Damn, that's a rough one. That's a rough one. I'd rather you just fucking okay. Well, I was just in the hospital, everyone.
What's
How do
the
you feel
story,
now?
man?
So I last night I was just kind of chilling and sitting with a friend. All of a sudden, I started having like this sense of doom, like a very classic panic attack onset, which is strange for me because I haven't had one in a long time. And I started trying to manage that, and all of a sudden I felt really nauseous, and my heart was racing, and I started puking everywhere. And after I puked, I realized that my heart was racing, and it was completely out of rhythm. And so I went to the hospital, and they told me that I was having AFib. And so they gave me some drugs, and they were like considering like using the paddles on me and whatnot. And they gave me some beta blockers to drop my heart rate, and then they kept me overnight. So to make sure that like there wasn't anything super serious going on, and there wasn't. And I just got discharged.
What's the feeling, bro?
The feeling of AFib?
No, just right now. How do you feel?
I mean, I feel pretty good. I'm a little like slightly elevated anxiety. I still have AFib right now, so my heart feels like very spiky and weak. But I'm chilling, man. Like I'm in a great mindset. They gave me some great juice via IV. Like I mean, like my toes, every little happy little piggies, man. It felt like my toes were happy. That's how good the drugs were. And yeah, I don't know, man. I'm big chilling. I'm happy. I'm glad I'm alive. And here's to another day. Oh, and I'm going on a date in an hour. So everything's awesome.
This guy's calling me from a hospital with an irregular heartbeat. Just like, I really hope I don't miss my date, man. Fucking priorities.
I mean, they
Don't
told
worry,
me
buddy.
that like it was concerning, not necessarily like an irregular heartbeat isn't actually that big of a deal. It's more like what might cause it, you know? And then long term, having an irregular heartbeat long term makes you a risk for strokes and whatnot. Because what happens is when the heart is beating at irregular timings, that blood pools, and then that blood can't get drained, and it starts to clot, and then it'll send that clot to your brain or something. So that could be an issue, but I'm not really there yet. You know what I mean? So they did put me on some blood thinners and some beta blockers to keep my heart rate low. So I won't be able to get an erection. But other than that, like we fucking chilling.
It's only a first date, right? Oh no, second. Ooh.
Second, I might really have to risk it.
Yeah, that might be it. That might be a rough one.
I mean, like she could just tell the story of like my pussy's so good, this guy had a heart attack. Like I honestly, if you think about it like that, I'm giving her a gift.
It's more like the rumors of my pussy so good that a guy had an anxiety attack thinking about it, but close enough.
Anyways.
We're happy you're alive, buddy.
Yeah, I'm happy I'm alive too. It's funny, like I think you were the only person who texted me aside from Owen and my mom. Oh, and Nick.
Did you tell anyone else?
No.
It's so unreasonable.
Yeah, but I didn't tell Barack, did I?
These fucking guys.
Wait,
It's just
how do I know if,
again.
how do I know then? If you didn't tell me and Owen didn't tell me, how do I know? I must have spies.
Oh my god, is this the Zohar?
No, it's the Mossad. We have spies everywhere.
Ah, okay. There's much for me to learn still.
I told Kaki about how you thought I have bugs in your house.
Oh, well, the thing is, yeah, it's a true story.
It was just
I know a lot about what happens over in Israel. I've read some things, and I know that all y'all serve in the IDF, Israeli Defense Services, and you're trained in shit. You're trained in espionage and stuff. So, you never know. You never know. So I did get my house bug sweeped. That's.
I mean, we had
turned out it
Nino
wasn't
over
that.
here.
It was the Zohar that I needed.
We had the Nino here the other day, and he didn't know how to unload a gun. So
Yeah, that when I saw
he's
it,
the IDF. So.
when I saw the Nino not unloading the AK, I'm just like, buddy, like you don't have to play it up for me. Like I know you're a killer. I see it in those eyes. How come there are so many Israelis in guerrilla poker?
You know what guerrilla is, right?
Yeah,
Look
it's like
it up.
guerrilla warfare.
Yeah, so that's why probably.
Isn't Israel like a serious force of power? They don't really need to use guerrilla.
Yeah, I'm just joking around. But it's probably because the owner is Israeli.
Yeah.
Got it.
I wonder why there are so many Russians that work with Jazer. Sus.
I mean, I'm a little suspicious.
So many Brazilians work with Saulo Costa.
Yeah. What's that about? What's going on there?
I mean, all I know is there aren't any Brazilians playing this challenge, so.
I really thought there would be. He said all these 500 L regs could compete, and I was waiting to see them all put their bankroll together, and they could finally put an MDA Brazilian reg from Saulo stable who has basic knowledge of exploiting, and they could show that they could really hang. But I mean, I guess they've just got higher EV things to do than Sharka's all at 10k. So yeah, I mean, I'm happy that the high stakes gets to survive another day, as like Saulo gives us a stay of execution.
I would offer Saulo and his crew 3 BBs to play. If he wants to play 3-handed with me and Owen, he gets 3 BBs.
It can't be us because he'll just cry collusion. It would have to be like you and someone else.
All right, me and Barack. Well, actually, maybe not. me and Decky. Brock, I was talking about you on stream last night, and I was talking how I thought you were a good player, but that you're a little washed up because you haven't been studying recently. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's fair. I'm not being mean, right?
I feel like
just want the action.
I feel like no, because we talked about it before. I told him I feel like I feel very confident, but also a bit washed up, like theory wise. Yeah. Not super sure.
Yeah, you also can't count pot odds either. A6 of hearts.
Oh my god! How does it feel to be the proud owner of the worst hand in the challenge so far?
Like truly.
No,
it's not RTA to have a calculator up. It's okay. We'll let you have a calculator.
I've seen worse. 100%.
All right, hit us with it. What's the worst hand?
Well, tell us this hand first.
You guys already talked about it on
We
stream.
talked about the A6 of hearts.
Let's not shame me again, please.
I'd be happy to.
There was a Linus hand that I thought was way worse.
Okay, what was it?
I think there were a couple of Linus hands that were really bad, but there was one.
Do you have a photo of it so you could like put it up so we can like actually look at it?
Yeah. Give me a sec.
In the meantime, on table 1, not show, there was a pretty interesting hand with Cayenne and Rig Deck.
Oh, I saw that one. Yeah.
Maybe we could pull that up. Maybe you guys give a little comment, take us through the action.
Ace 9 against 6-7, right?
Yep. It was 3-bet, C-bet. They both turn a flush draw. Check, turn. So rigged going for check raise. And then river running 4s. So Jack, 4, 4, 8 board. Rig deck shoves for 2.5 pot. And Cayenne is going to look him up.
Wait, was it Kaki and More Chance 4 or what was it?
Table 1. Not sure.
How long ago was that?
4 or 5 hands, maybe 6 hands now. Ace 9, 6, 7, both clubs.
Okay, I see. I got it.
Sometimes on these streams I forget we're supposed to talk about poker.
Yeah, no, it's fun just to talk random shit. Sea Limer kind of killed the buzz with his hospital story, though.
Yeah, come on. What are you doing?
I'm sorry.
Ruining the
That's all right,
vibe,
that's all right.
man. Oh my
At least he left it on an optimistic note with the date.
Yeah. Oh, and also, so like all the stickies they put on to monitor my heart, I had to peel them all off, and it like took hair with it. So I have these little like half bald patches on my chest and stomach. It's kind of funny. Here, I'll show you, Owen.
No, please don't. Like, I'll be fine.
Here, no, look. See?
Nice. Now,
Do you guys know Beavis and
looks like a
Butthead?
pussy, you know? He looks like a pussy because he like it's like he wanted to get his chest waxed and he was like, oh no, it hurts too bad. No, stop. He made it like 10% of the way through a waxing.
Beavis and Butthead?
Yeah, do you know this show?
Like in the Shotgun Beavis.
Not that well.
It's just you guys, the way you guys laugh reminds me of Beavis and Butthead.
So
Like,
you're saying
I don't wanna
our
look at
labs, our
our-
TV show worthy?
Yes.
Nice. When we get our own spin-off podcasts, yeah, that's when we'll go to the moon.
We should have a podcast. That'd be fun. Get Decky on there, Kaki guest member. I'd love that shit.
We'll talk about all your dates.
Oh yeah, we have some very interesting dates. Barack had a very, very interesting date. Barack, you're killing me, man. Can we please
Oh
tell
my
the
god, you
story?
can hear the nervousness and the laughter. He's like, don't you fucking dare.
Honestly, that story like had me in stitches, man. Like I was.
It's the funniest shit ever, but there is no way I let you talk about it. Sorry.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I told my therapist that story.
Do you guys want to comment on that hand, though? Maybe Johan can share
I haven't seen it.
the screen.
Oh, it's here. Wait, no, it's not there. Where is
Where's
it?
the hand?
Maybe share the screen, Johan, if that's convenient.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
I mean, you probably want it up on the stream though, right? So everyone else can see.
He will
Okay.
do that, I assume.
Okay.
Oh, and you talk us through the actions.
No, I think because I'm the most likely to leak something. That's definitely Llama, actually. He's so bad.
Armor.
Well, no, it's because Barack's 6 tabling and Lama's just had a heart attack, so you're right.
Barack will give you nothing. Barack will just like pretend he's a 25 an hour egg. And
He doesn't have to pretend that hard.
he'll say nothing. For the first like 2 months I was in Gorilla, he thought I was in a mole and he gave me no info. And then he came around to the idea I was actually there to learn from them.
That's funny.
That's not right, but okay.
It's just like this
Are we
this
gonna
1K
see that
rank
in the call?
is me.
Seems standard. What do you think about c-betting bigger?
See betting bigger on a dryish paired board. Seems pretty American. Rigged is American though, right? So yeah.
No.
Oh, is he
No,
not?
he's not.
It's Bulgarian.
Oh no, he's Russian, isn't he?
Bulgarian.
Or Eastern European?
You fucking racist, Owen.
Where is he from?
He's
Bulgarian.
just like, yeah, all them Eastern European, they're all Russians.
I mean, they're about to be.
Yeah, I'm just ahead of the times, man.
What's up, guys, with the rigged decision to go for check raise as opposed to barrel with the 6-7 of clubs?
Well, I think basically he might not even be check raising, he might be check calling it. Because the idea is that like with these kind of combo draws where they're very cuspy, whether you can call them off or not, if imposition jams on you, it's just really rough with that sort of hand where you even like you're crushed by bluffs and like you're crushed by better draws as well. So in order to avoid that, like if you bet and someone shoves, it can be kind of painful. So sometimes you might check raise or check call them to make sure that you don't get into that spot. And then I mean, yeah, Cayenne with an interesting call on river. I mean, clubs here is that like rigged would often. I mean, I know this time he decides to check like the very low combo draw, but most of rigged's flush draws are going to barrel the turn. So the 9 of clubs is probably unblocking a lot of.
Can we see turn again?
Rigged's bluff.
Check. With 2.5 SPL.
Got it. Check. And then river, he decides to go for the value jam.
Yes.
I don't like it.
Trying to bluff his opponent off the chop.
I don't think I would take this with this hand. Yeah,
I mean, imposition will often check back clubs, but do they have like this is B40?
It was B40, was it?
Yeah.
It was B40 C bet.
Oh, it was B40?
Yeah.
Oh, then we're only blocking A7.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
A6.
Yeah, I mean it's close. Yeah.
King 7 maybe. I guess it's not that
You-
bad
you-
if it was B40. I
yeah.
thought it was B25 on the flop. B25 on the
Yeah,
flop.
but this is B25. You're blocking a lot more checkbacks. But after B40, it's like this might be close to unblockers.
Yeah. I
Also,
think
it's
on the
just
turn,
7 high, so it can't be that bad.
we're not actually blocking 7s on the turn. Because
Also, if Kaizen wants to hero
imposition-
these sort of hands with clubs in them, like ace high with club kicker, then you're actually blocking some calls. Because like, if he calls this, what's the
that's-
difference between this and A7 of clubs?
Well, you're only
Ace-
blocking A7, but I think it is important to note that you're not blocking pocket 7s because 7s with the club will stab in position on the turn, fading the 7 of clubs check raise, check jam. So the sevens and 6s don't actually block value. It only blocks A7 of clubs.
I mean,
Honestly, can't we just?
Mixed anyway? I feel like it's hard to have like nice block, but I feel like you'd want to block some snap calls though, you know, because he can have Jack X checkbacks. And we could have some blockers to that. Like it's quite easy to have some blockers to that, you know.
You don't really check back Jack X on the turn.
I mean, it'll be I guess. I mean, he could check it back with clubs, but then it's going to be really hard for us to have clubs in our hands. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like on the river you just have like this hand doesn't feel great, but I'm not sure if any hand feels like a standout hand to absolutely go with.
I personally would just. I mean, I think jam is fine, but I want to be aware of the non all-in size here. That's totally valid.
Yeah.
Out of interest, do you think Kyan's more likely to fold to a pot bet than a jam with what he has?
I'm not talking about pot. I'm talking like somewhere in between like 40 to 60, 40 to 70. I think that would be basically at that point we're repping like some 9s and 7s and 6s and 5s or whatever, along with some traps. And
I think
I
it's
think
always
Kahan's likely to fold versus it. I think if you B60, you know, I think Kahan. I think you're getting about the same level of fold equity. Maybe, who knows? Like if I don't know what Kahan specifically would do. That guy always fucks me up. But I know in my own shoes that like when I have a bluff catcher and when someone bets smaller, I just assume more value generally than when someone bets larger, and so like it still puts like a similar level of pressure.
I mean, yeah, but you're gonna have to defend more, like, or
yeah, in theory.
Yeah, or not.
But
sure, you can like if someone's just either range calling or range folding every spot to you, then you can take a better price.
No, 100%, 100%.
I doubt that like.
But do people?
I doubt that Riggs and Kaihan have played enough for that sort of leveling wall to really exist. I also know from like a little bit from having watched these guys. I mean, well, you can even see it from the hand. Like Kaihan's not afraid to get in like very, very light. So you are running this risk, but you kind of just have to do that. Like,
yeah.
If you're never getting heroed, I don't think you're being aggressive enough. Like people should occasionally be making heroes against you, and like some of them will own you, but also some of them will be wrong. Like if no one ever feels compelled to make very light cooldowns, then you're probably just on the tight side. And we definitely have like hands which are worth a jam here. Like
I think
flop,
9s plus is worth a jam.
Yeah. I mean, like the flop's even going to be a range bet from him, and he's going to have like backdoored the bottom boat, which is going to be jamming quite often. Like hands like 9s and stuff will just like barrel, but like yeah, he could have like the ace 4-5-4, like pocket aces, some like random trickiness with a jack. So yeah, I mean, he's just going to have to go with it sometimes, and I think sometimes the danger people fall into is they try to like, if you try to get too predictive about where people are going to hero you, you just end up like not being aggro enough. Rather than just going out there, you bluff a lot, you get your value, and then you work out like, oh, this is where this is what the guy was doing like afterwards, instead of trying to like consult your crystal ball beforehand. You've just got to go out there and like see how they're playing. Then once you have the information, you can start trying to make an adjustment.
While we were discussing this hand for a very long time, Barack takes a kind of interesting bad beat on the show table 1. It's probably 4 or 5 hands ago, where he has ace 7 with the ace of diamonds. Maybe you guys tell Barack what you think of this hand. The one before this hand, yeah. So it's a blind v blind. Friendly limp and check. Oh, sorry, it was a 3x. My bad. It was a 3x.
Wait, did Marinelli limp or
he opened?
No,
3x.
he opened 3x. I call.
Okay, Marinelli opens 3x scores, and then he like mins. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All good so far. Oh, and he raises.
Puts in half his stack.
Half his stack.
What did you say last stream, Owen? That usually it happens against me?
What? Oh, what? Will you get owned on stream or what?
No, you said that usually somebody like tries to like draw on or something, puts half his stack. It's usually against me.
Oh, Oh yeah. Like all those hands, yeah. Yeah.
There you have it.
What do you think
Yeah.
of Barak's decision to call this large turn race?
Well, I mean, there are definitely a million draws out there.
Wait, let me look at the hand. Let's see if we can roast Barak here.
I think it's possible. I like my play, but I think
Is this
it's
BVB?
possible.
Yeah.
BBB
Yeah.
single raise pot, min bet for C bet from Matt, and Matt checks turn. Barak
Okay.
150 and faces like a pot raise, so
I mean, the
slightly more than
overbet
pot.
is already a
What is
bit
Barak
greedy with
holding?
his 7. He
Ace
has
of
ace
diamonds, 7 of spades.
Huh. I probably let this one go.
Yeah, you get destroyed by Matt. Barak is strong. He holds on, but then he can't let go when the bad beat comes in.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's like, okay, yeah,
You
a bunch
call
of
this,
draws
buddy?
got there, but so many didn't. Like, it's just the nature of the board that he's still gonna have more than enough bluffs. I think this is like pretty reasonable catcher. Like, I mean, the ace
Tough
of
turn
diamonds.
spot though, right? Like Lama says, it seems very
I don't-
foldable.
You're like
Okay,
dead.
I don't think this
from-
is a reasonable catcher. Ace of diamonds is neutral,
Irrelevant.
and
Yeah.
then 7
Yeah.
of spades is negative.
I mean, it's neutral again.
Why would it be
No.
negative out of interest?
Like 8-7 check raising the turn to draw, and like 7-6,
8-7, 6-7.
9-7 check raise the turn and barrel river.
Maybe
like
even like 7s with the 7 of diamonds, 9.
Yeah, but a lot of the hands that are good catchers on the river are folds on the turn. So it's not very easy to have a great catcher on the river if you don't have a flush.
I mean, also I think yeah. I think the hand is just like fine. Yeah, it's also like double flush draw, so there's quite a bit of fast playing going on the turn. So it's like even those hands which are going to be like the 2 pairs which are going to be pure unblockers will like they might just put it all in on the turn. So
I think that's actually a good point.
You
Yeah,
probably
I think
often have like
you guys make good points there. That it's hard to have a
Thank
good
you.
catcher on the river, and that having like pure unblockers probably just runs it anyways.
I mean, yeah, you've just got so many auto folds from hearts that it's like when you actually do have showdown value, you have to defend it quite often because it's not that much more money going in. And we'll just have so many draws which just like are priced in on turn and now like obviously have to fold because they lose to a bluff.
See, I'm kind of a weird player. Whenever I see a hand played, like I like folding, but then when I'm on the tables, I just cannot fucking fold. Ugh. When I'm on the tables, I'm looking for any fucking excuse to call. So, well played, I guess.
Yeah. I think it's quite an interesting hand. I mean,
Why did you call the turn, Barak? I think it looks to me like just a very hard call to make. What was the thought there?
I think the guys implied some of my reasons. I don't want to go deeper into why against him.
He consulted the Zohar.
Yeah, the Zor misguided me again.
He could hear from Matt's house, fold, fold. And then he went silent on the river, so he didn't know what to do anymore.
no, you keep shouting. You've got to balance your fold shouts just in case he has it bugged.
When I was playing Barak, I would balance what I shouted for just in case he was listening.
That's what he told me in the story. I think you played it well. But at some point you must have realized that the house wasn't bugged when you kept telling him to fold and he was just listening.
He had the good read. He could tell when it was meant with like sincere desperation, and when it was like, like please fold. He can tell those apart. He's pretty sharp on these things.
The Lama can't sell it well.
Yeah. No, he's not much of an actor.
All right, boys.
Yeah.
I'm gonna head out. Good luck.
Well,
Yeah.
before you do, we've been instructed. Tell Barak to show Linus bad hand. Can we get one Linus bad hand, Barak?
Yeah, I'll just tell it because I can't find it. It's like a 200 BB 4-bet pot. I think it's Button against Big Blind, Kevin against Linus.
Okay.
Um,
Who's the 4-bet?
so wait, I just don't want to fuck it up. Let me actually try to find it again, because it's just hard playing so many tables, but
What's the date, Llama, in the meantime? You just going for food or?
We're gonna go thrifting and see. She's actually looking. She wants to buy like some snow clothes, and I'm just gonna go hang out and thrift with her, and then maybe go get pasta afterwards. And then if we're feeling it, if my heart can handle it, we'll go to the roller coaster, and then probably call it a night.
Very good, man. Maybe stay away from the roller coaster though after the hospital trip.
Yeah. But
911, I'd like to report an emergency. In about 6 hours, someone's going to have a heart attack. At, the
okay,
roller
first of
coaster.
all, AFib is not heart attack. It's just different. Llama, what do I say to people who say Beppe is top 1? He's not. He's not top 1. He's a great player, a good guy, and we've talked hands before, and I think he's good, but I think there are better. And even if I'm not talking about myself, there are people who aren't me that are better, and I see that very clearly.
Thanks, Kier.
We almost made it to a
Barack,
whole
I
stream
don't know
without.
better than Beppe. If you start studying again, you can definitely have that.
Okay, I'll study. I'll study
We
that.
get him in the lab. We start like
Rockin'.
we keep a live power rankings list, and we just slowly move Barack down until he studies again.
Fair
You need to take the
enough.
Zohar away from him so he actually starts learning.
They took my games away from me now.
He just
You want to
starts
take
like
Zohar
Bolton.
too?
Gotta go, guys. Later.
Okay, clear.
See ya.
What's the plan for you, Owen? Are you gonna put in a session?
Yeah. No, I said when I got messaged about hopping on the stream, I asked Marinelli if he'd join, and he said he was playing. I was like, okay, well now I'm gonna have to play today. No choice really. Yeah. Marinelli's been talking mad shit recently, and someone's got to put him in his place. And but Barack tried. Barack made a noble effort.
You don't think Duty is bottom 5 in the challenge?
Controversial as it may seem, I think that Duty is a little bit better than the bottom 5. I know some people might.
I think
that to be a
that might have been the craziest shit I've ever heard in my life.
Wow, you're in a bubble, man. You need to get out more. You have one conversation with a drunk homeless man, and you'll hear way more wild shit than that.
No, but it's not a drunk homeless person. It's an ice player.
It's from like a sober, rational human being.
Yeah.
Well, alleged rational. Yeah, doubts have been cast. But yeah, I don't like Duty versus Matt challenge when.
Wait, who said he was in the? Oh, right, it was Marinelli, right? We baited him into.
Yeah. Llama baited him, like he eked it out of him to call someone bottom 5, and he called Duty.
He didn't even say like bottom 5. He said like 100% for you. Who is like bottom 5? You don't have to think about. And then he just goes like, probably takes the guy who like really. If I have to think about it, I've probably played like 15 to 20,000 hands in the challenge so far, and I'd say probably top 3 to 5 performers, 100%. Even though he's one of the biggest losers, it doesn't matter, just infinite variance, and he played some tougher lineups. But okay.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like
like, I mean, Diddy's the kind of guy who, like, he'll push the aggression a bit too far sometimes. But, like, I mean, that's kind of, kind of links to what I was saying earlier, that, like, if you're not trying to put on the heat and, like, looking for an excuse, then you might just end up being, like, passive and easy to deal with. Like, he has some punty hands, but he also has some really fucking good ones.
We all have some funny hands, I think.
Yeah, no, definitely. I have so many punty hands. Like, if I just posted my punts, you would think I was a whale. But yeah, I mean, like, so, sometimes it all comes together and it's and it works out.
Yeah. And sometimes it doesn't. But it's all good.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I had a day the other day where it really wasn't. I'm not even sure what the intentions were. I think the intentions were I would like the pot, and everyone just kept saying no. There wasn't really much thought. Yeah.
Can you find the Linus against Kevin hand, please? Well, because it's just too hard for me. It's
Right at the table? Like, what?
it's I think like I've sent it somewhere. Like 4-bet pot. I don't know. It's like 4-bet pot, 200 effective button against big blind. Linus as ace 8 suited as the caller, and he like it's like 7 5 9.
Got it.
Okay.
This is actually weirdly easy to find.
Okay.
Okay.
I think I might have seen this hand. Is this like on a flop? Oh no, sorry, on a turn. Linus is gonna just. Oh, maybe
It
it's a
goes
flop.
check on the flop, and then yeah. But Owen said he can easily.
God. Like, I did this exact same fucking thing in a. Like,
If we want to talk about it, we should find. Can you give an image to Johan for the?
Yeah.
split?
Oh, okay. I just want to say before I do that this is Barack's shitty screenshot, and like I am technologically more competent than him, and would have taken it. Like, but this is what we're fucking working with here.
Not amazing, but acceptable. Yeah, so 400 BB pot.
Yeah.
So Johan pulls it up, I guess.
Yeah. So the flop goes check. Yeah, 4-bet pot. So Linus is in the big blind. Kevin's on the button.
Yeah, Linus calls the 4-bet.
Yeah.
Kevin
and then
checks back the 965 rain.
And yeah, flop check. Linus stabs small. Kevin raises small, and Linus rips it, and Kevin calls. This is yeah. I mean, this is some. This is
what could he be thinking there out of interest? Just that Kevin is on a full of shit line at a very high frequency, basically.
So I think his thinking is that
ace blocks aces trap and other overpairs less likely.
Yeah, like he's basically thinking that the value range here is very weighted towards aces, because given like it's a 4-bet pretty deep, so already like the pocket pairs are getting very like aces heavy. Like queens starts like flatting a lot. Like even kings has some, well maybe not in these positions, but yeah. So you're getting more aces heavy, and then he even checks back the flop again, sort of indicating aces. So then he bets small on the turn and gets raised. He kind of just assumes it was like aces trapping, but then like aces trapping is the hand he's giving him. He goes, "Oh, I have an ace, I have some equity," and he runs it.
Yeah. Also, you don't really have any other bluffs. Like if you want to shove some hands on the turn, for value, then you need some bluffs, right? And then,
I mean, a hand like 7-6, which was value betting against Ace King, can now.
Yeah, but that's the nuts though.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
That's like saying having a straight flush draw is you can wait and have a straight flush draw. Obviously, like these kind of hands are nutted.
But like we're putting in 200 BBs in a 4-bet pot in tight ranges. You're allowed to have a pretty good hand to bluff with. Like, this is. I mean, yeah. Other than that, like, what else are you gonna take? Like,
10-8's definitely going to be a worse hand
Is,
than this.
is having ace-8 here standard for the sizing? I think it was like 1400, then 3400 4-bit off 190 BB stacks. Is that a standard out of position call, ace-8 Sis?
I don't.
A7
Okay, I think it's a fold to those sizes heads up. So I can't imagine it's a call in 6 max. Yeah.
The thing is, say he's like not even sure if he calls it pre, and I mean he probably just knows what he's doing, right? But say he's not sure, and he's just calling it like 20% of the time. Him choosing to play it this way post is probably not really affecting much, right?
Yeah, but that's if you're taking like a very zoomed out view instead of trying to like play the max EV in front of you. I feel like.
But if his read is right, like for example, that Kev doesn't trap QQ and KK fuck all, and would trap AA a bit, and that's mainly what he's repping here, then it seems kind of like at a certain point it becomes a good bluff, right? Depending on how accurate that guesswork is.
Like
you have to make some pretty. You have to make some pretty extreme, I think, assumptions for this to become a good bluff.
I mean, saying which he might also be thinking. He might also think he's just losing to bluffs. He
can't call, obviously, because the bluffs are like ace queen and ace king, right?
But like they're deep enough. Can't he just click it back? Like, is it that credible that, like, when you run it here, what are you really repping? You're repping like 6-5, I guess, 2 combos. Because the set doesn't.
You think sets are clicking and flatting and stuff?
Well, because it's like if you have a set, it's not like. I mean, what are you scared of? Like the 2 pairs.
You're scared of them checking back a river, basically. Like for example, QQ, it's a king or it's an ace, it's a 7 and 8, whatever.
Yeah, but like you can click it back and shove yourself. Like you shove the 6-5 because there are things like counterfeiting rivers where you can't like where you get into like weird spots and then you like check and get like shoved off your hand by ace king or something. But I'm not even sure. Or I mean 6-5 also might be like if say he thinks if Kevin has like a 9 and then like raise folds it, like 6-5, like a 9 has outs versus 6-5, but it doesn't have outs against a set. I'm not sure. Like even then, I feel like 6-5, you just want to click it back because you're not really scared of the board 4-straighting. Like, yeah, sure, the board 4-straights a lot, but do you care? Like, it's not like those are frequently in either player's ranges. You'll still have a clear shove on every 4-straight river. So I feel like the shove is mostly him just saying Kevin has a bluff. Like, yeah, I think he's just like, well, the only value hand is aces, is 3 combos. I think he has a bluff, but I lose to a bluff. I guess that's what's going on. Yeah. That's as good as I can make out from this.
And then you look it up and it's pure in solver.
Yeah,
I don't think so, but we can check later.
If it clicked back a bit, I could see that. I could see it being like a mostly fold, small frequency click it back. Ripping it in though seems like
it was like 2K 5,500 and then all in for like 16, 17, is that right? Something like that, right?
Something like that, yeah.
Oh, yeah. This might be because of the coin clickback stuff.
Like you can't doubler. You have to make it like double the bet or something.
He would have had to pot commit himself anyway. So he might have just wanted to click it back and then just be like, well, now there's 5k behind and I like often have like an over and a gutter for like a few % more. Like he might just be like, oh, well, I'm fucking pot committed and just puts it all in. Like he really wanted to click it back and then couldn't let it go when he realized the any size was all in. That's kind of funny if that's what happened.
Yeah, I didn't think about it.
Yeah, because what was going on in my head was I was thinking that maybe he wanted to click it back and then he's just like, oh, what if Kevin re-clicks me and I have to fold? No, I'll beat him to the punch. And just puts it all in first because he doesn't want to lose the click war. Like a classic old hand where like, I don't know, you watch some like stream from 2010 or whatever, and it's like 2 guys with nothing, just 6-betting the flop. Um, and it's just like one guy gets all in first, and I was going, I knew you have nothing, but I can't.
Vanessa Selbst.
I was on the table with Seth Davis yesterday, and he was talking about how, like 10, 15 years ago, you would have people just playing. So let's say there was an open and a free bet, and you are deciding if you want to cold call a 4-bet or like cold 4-bet. You have like a close decision, and then people were like folding ace-10 suited, but they were like cold 8-3 off, because they would be like, I don't want to have a tough decision if the guy 5-bets, so I'll just take super garbage hands. so I don't have a decision. Yeah, so they would fold ace-10 suited and then just cold 8-3 off.
So genius! Oh my god, why didn't I think of that? It's like, yeah, if I reopen the river and then someone raises me, I don't want to have to deal with that shit.
Yeah. You want to be polarized.
Yeah.
What's what's going on with Xiao Jun, guys? Any thoughts there?
Actually, you told me his name, and then I looked him up because I wanted to see his face. Maybe I played with him, and I actually played with him many years ago, like 5 years ago or so. He was playing like 10-20 at Bellagio, and he was like messaging me like 2 years later, asking like how I studied and how I became like an i6 player, and like if I could direct him.
And you said Yamaka.
And then I guess and then I never heard of him since until now, until you brought his name up. So yeah, possibly he just studied and yeah, I don't know. Seems to play okay. I haven't played too much with him. Maybe Owen played more.
I played like a little bit of heads up with him on the challenge.
He's deep in the bank right now against a small river raise from Kevin.
It's like he's
Full
mostly
time bank getting burned here.
He's mostly a heads up player, right? But he kept missing value bets versus me, and I was just like, what? It's very confusing. But look, we didn't even play that long. We played like an hour, and like he would just have like, I don't know, he'd have third pair in a single raise pot and just checked it down and didn't reopen. And I was like, cool, as I like have my, I don't know, I was just ready to check call.
What was the action on that hand?
It was pretty interesting. He pots the river, he gets like 2.5x raise, and he rips over the top.
So it's single raise pot.
Small c-bet call, check, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, small c-bet, check. Then he pots. Kevin raises. What? How can Kevin raise this river?
It's an interesting line, yeah, against somewhat polarizing.
Like,
repping a checked back ace, queen, or king.
9, maybe? No, it can't be ace king or ace queen, because like when he pots, he's already kind of repping ace queen himself.
Ace queen, yeah.
Like maybe I mean, it could be ace king like soul reading, but like, is he?
It's a small imposition raise. I don't know. It feels like he's trying to at least rep.
Yeah,
like ace king in his range. Whether it does or not, it's another question.
It could be ace king trying to like notch raise him, or like, I mean, ace 9 checking back the turn sometimes.
Yeah, I mean that's got to be mandatory.
Yeah, I mean Kevin does like these river raises where he'll just see someone and like put them on an exact hand and be like, "I have you beat."
As Xiao with any deuce, would you rip over the top of the small in position raise, like because he's kind of capped, right? Like turn check back.
I'm not gonna lie, I'd be kind of sitting there like, is this top fucking boat? Like, it would take me a second, like, because like you're going through hands and it's kind of hard to say exactly what Kevin has, but just randomly checking back aces, then milky raising the river, like, it's like, how many times have you seen that live?
And out of interest, to go specific suit, like
if you have the deuce of hearts, are you a lot happier to jam because you block a check back ace deuce suited? Or is it pretty irrelevant to you and all deuces are worth basically the same?
One combo at this point is actually kind of big because he's raising so few.
Well, it depends if he's raising a lot of ace king, right?
Yeah, I mean it's just like.
But how much does that check back anyway?
He's raising so few value combos, but like. If he has even a few traps in this size, it's really easy to just have like tons of them. So blocking one combo traps here is actually pretty relevant. Like if his traps here is like he has one combo of pocket aces and he has one combo of ace deuce of hearts, and you have the deuce of hearts. Well, now he has a trap half the time, like which is huge if you're considering whether you can stack off your hand or just flat. So yeah, it might
Okay,
actually be really big. Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of an interesting spot. I wish we could see the whole cards there. I'm so used to showing people now.
It's a pity that this whole challenge wasn't forced show. And we probably still could have got people playing, but I felt like I was scared that not enough people would play, so I wanted to be more, building a bridge.
Before I played, I didn't realize how much fun the show tables would be, and I was a bit like nervous about them. And then I started playing, and I was just like, oh, they're the fucking best. Like watching them playing them, it's just like they're so good. I feel like it's just so motivating to follow along to the action, knowing you'll get something juicy at the end, instead of just hoping someone calls so that you can see what the fuck they had.
Yeah, I agree. The show tables are pretty addicting.
Yeah, it's so good. And then you go back to a normal one, and like if you tank fold, and then suddenly you don't see if you were right, and you're just like, wait, what the fuck?
I'll tell you what. I played a Sunday MTT session on Sunday, and I've had some spots where like I tank fold or something. Then like the guy just auto max, and I'm like, what is going on? Why don't I get to see what he has? Like, what is it? Yeah, it's kind of fun.
Yeah, I was playing I was playing some live MTT, and there's this one guy at the table who he started saying like, okay, like everyone, you win a hand, you show one card from your hand, you can pick which hand it is, which it's kind of good, fun table dynamic. And then like we were just getting the dealer to pick just randomly, save time. And then he had like a massive chip lead, and we're getting close to the bubble. And he's like, guys, I'm not sure about the show card right now. It's like, no, show us the fucking deuce every time you open, man. Like, stop trying to hide what's going on. We know the deal. Like, your chip leader bullying us as we try and make our min cash, but like, don't pussy out now. You started this. But yeah, he was a good sport in the end. Yeah. It's also like he thought we were going to be surprised, and we're just like, wow, as we're all like folding everything, this guy's opening some like really like, oh my god. Like, it's just yeah man, like we played an MTT before,
Hey, Owen, you're not logged into site or anything, are you? Can you check your hand out? Can you check out the Linus A8 hand?
What about it?
Just have a look and see what's good.
What, to see if it's solver approved?
Just have
That'll
a
be
peek.
pretty tough because do you have 200 BB ranges?
Yeah.
I mean, but these sizes that they used.
We'll see how close we can get. 4-bet pots though, it's like, I remember, we were talking about some other hand, and I saw everyone just being like, well, I ran a sim and didn't get this at all, and everyone's just like, yep, that's just classic 4-bet pots. Especially once you get to the river. But I mean, if it says it's like a 20 BB error, we can probably take its word for it. I mean, I'm going to use Ruse though, so this might be a bit rough around the edges. Using a real solver is like so 2020.
Did you guys play much with Danil so far?
Oh, Barack and Daniel are great buddies. They're really tight.
Best friends. I actually didn't play much on the challenge, but played a decent amount in general. How's he doing on the challenge?
Brack, I heard you were thinking of naming your firstborn child Daniil, regardless of gender.
What is it?
I heard a rumor you were going to name your firstborn child Daniil, regardless of
Oh
gender.
yeah.
Like, yeah, I
100%.
thought that sounded like you guys. Yeah, you guys are like peas in a pod. I thought that was like.
Daniil's up 4 buy-ins, EV, as of this morning.
Nice, not bad.
Mr. Nikiforov is the chip leader.
No, I was gonna say it's decent. Like probably I don't know how many hands he played, but probably 8 binds above EV.
Okay, so I can get the sizes, but only if it's small blind, which might be better because if Kevin's using that size, it's going to be a more merged free bet of these stacks. Because like, I've only got pre-flop ranges where the big blind goes to 20 when they're this deep.
What?
Like on hand.
The big blind
Like,
3 bets to 20 BB.
Yeah, like those are the ones I have on hand. Like,
What the fuck? Do people do this?
I mean, I'm an 18 BB enjoyer at 200 effective.
Oh god, bro.
Yeah, no, but think about it. You have aces. The guy has 6-5 suited. He never gets to see if he hit his flop.
he can click the.
They should make Hold'em pot limit pre.
What? No.
We're making a new game on CoinOwn, okay? Pot limit pre Hold'em with massive ante, and the ante's not included in the pot.
Oh my god, that's how we get Steffi back to high stakes because he's used to playing these tiny ass free bets. Oh, think how like it'll be the resurgence of Yasam. Steffi and Yasam like N boss 1 and N boss 2.
All right, so whatever, man. Use that. I mean, he's never going to be 3-betting ace-8 suited to 20 though out of the small blind, right? He's just calling or whatever.
Well, yeah, I've got like, yeah, I mean, it's gonna be like mixed. He's gonna like, I've got it to 14 from the small blind, but it's 20 from the big.
Oh yeah, right. So do the small blind thing. But does he have ace-8?
Oh god, do we have to add some ace-8 in, like 10% ace-8? He doesn't have ace-8. Okay, yeah.
But add more though. Add more, because otherwise, like you know, when sometimes you add min amounts of something, it'll just auto bluff with it or whatever.
Oh yeah. Okay, I'll give it. Should I give him like 20% ace-9, ace-8 or something?
Pre-flop ranges are overrated. Owen, come on, just give the guy ace-8.
Yeah. But go 20% of 9, 8, and 7, because then we get a little bit of info with the 8 and the 7 and stuff.
Yeah, just play around with it a bit. Give him some hands.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Bunch of stuff. Okay. There we go.
Is auto top up the goat or just sun running? Well, he's not at the top of the leaderboard anymore, man. Where even is he?
I stacked him in a huge pot yesterday and brought him back into the pack. Yes.
No, he's. I mean, we'll see after today. He was second with 13 buy-ins EV.
Who's top?
Munas, 14.
Okay, all right. Well, okay. I'm gonna have to reel them both.
I mean, it's pretty close though. Like, I mean, there's a bunch of people that are 8 buy-ins. There's 1, 2, 3. There's 7 people that are 8 buy-ins or more.
What am I on? I'm on like 6 or something.
As of this morning, you were 5, so you're just outside. There's 7 people 8 or more, and you're next with 5.
Oh my god! One day, just like completely dusting will really do you in a challenge where it's this hard to get shit.
Yes.
Fuck. Yeah. All right. Well,
I'm like,
how is
gonna
that?
have
like-
to go back in a bit.
I'm like 4th, right now before today.
Yeah, man, you're up there. This morning, you were up 9.3 buy-ins EV.
Yeah, I made a nice comeback actually. I was
You were
down
fucked,
like,
right?
yeah, I was down 10 binds like 3 times.
Yeah, I feel like every day I look at Barack and he swings by double-digit buy-ins. Like,
Yeah, that's what happens.
By the way, are you guys still using Jurgen on coin? Because you should probably not. Like, there's been a few bugs.
And I think Stambolov basically got table closed in the middle of a pot where he had the nuts because of Jurgen. And he's pissed, like he wants like a refund from site, and the site's like, I mean, he's using third-party software that closed his table. And so that's a bit of a back and forth spot. I don't think it's reasonable though for the site to have to compensate when a player uses a third-party thing that's got bugs with a particular network, you know? It's an annoying situation though, there's really no good resolution. Unless the player that he played against just wants to give him the pot back. But so many people have been on the other end of some sort of disconnect, right, where they get fucked. So when finally one happens their way, I mean, it's pretty understandable that they don't want to.
Oh my
just
god!
gift
You
it
guys
off.
want to know something so fucking sick? This Ace 8 is like it's jamming half the time here. It's half.
It's not really surprising though, is it? Like,
Oh my god!
'cause
Fucking Linus, man! Fucking Linus! Jesus Christ! This guy's a god. Like, this is just unreal. Yeah. Ah, Barack, like, nice find. Linus really fucking dusted that one off. Yeah.
I mean, okay. I mean, I still think it's a massive bust, but whatever.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Try harder, buddy.
I mean, whatever. You can. All good, man. Just look at the
Someone in the
song.
chat- Someone in the chat's also saying it should be range donked, which would be surprising at this SPR.
I mean, I got 0% donks, so I'll mess around, see if I can help this.
No,
Range
I
donks
don't
are
think.
really small.
I don't think it makes a lot of sense. It's
I
too
think-
it's too deep, and the free bet
so
for
if-
guys is too
If you
big.
give like 10% donks, it starts using it like 40% of the time, but it doesn't like any size bigger than 10. And I think trying to balance a 40% donking range for B10, which is not adding, like, that's adding no EV. I mean, it's the thing Linus might just do because he's Linus. Like, if it's a range donk for B10, then you can just easily, and that takes no mental processing, but like, it's still a mix even when you go tiny.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
still
I mean,
interesting.
this is absurd though that he finds this.
But it does have that element of logic, right? Like, so even when Barack was saying it's a fishy play and you guys were saying, yeah, this looks pretty bad, I mean, it's only one assumption away from becoming good. If the assumption is correct that Kevin is much more likely to trap aces than kings or queens, then this hand could be a hand where you're up against air a lot and you still have equity. And it's hard to have equity because, like, honestly, 6-7 is the fucking nuts there.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
mean, yeah, like
It's such a strong hand. It's just like value jamming. It's so good. So it's whatever, right? To find a real bluff, like this is a real bluff. It's, you know.
I mean, like 7-6 is in there. It's just in
Logical.
there as a click back because it can click back and then call off. And like 9-8 is used the same way. Like I think they're clicking back and calling off. Even
Oh,
though like,
Maddie dusts a tower to Kevin just now. But Johan found a hand first. He said an interesting looking hand came up between Kevin and Rig Deck. He's got it on the replay or on his screen share if you want to look. It was just a single raise pot, is it? Oh, yeah. He limp calls a 3.5. Check raises 40%. Pot on the turn. And ram for pot on the river. Board pairing 9.
yeah. Wait, let's go. So B40.
He check raises large on flop, bets like 90% on turn, and shoves for almost pot on river.
Yeah. Okay.
How standard of a river call is this from rigged, or is it just praying? Like, is Kevin really going to have Jack 10 and 10-8 and just dirt them into the ground here? Like, Kevin's river bluff is more likely to be a hand like 5-7 or something, right? Than it is to be 10-8 or Jack 10. Or is my Hold'em guessing out the window?
Yeah, I'm just wondering if it's like those Because when none of the draws hit any showdown for rigged, like, you know, when the 9 pairs, rigged is going to have like less hands which can shove when check 2. And he's also gonna because like he doesn't have like these 9x heart and like hands like 9-8, 9-7 are often like are often gonna be like checking the flop. Like when he goes B50. I mean he could have them in there and then flip turn. Actually, yeah, those aren't unreasonable. But like the 9 is going to cut down on some value combos, and it also means like nothing pairs up. So rigged is going to have to check backs and stuff. So like if you have a 5, it does have showdown value. Like the blockers are, the blockers are better, but you get to check down for like. I mean it's a huge pot, but you will have a few BBs in the checking line. So you can have this thing where it's like the 10-8 is going to be. I mean, well, the Jack 10 especially is going to be a worse bluffing hand, but it's like. Obviously it checks down for 0, so because it's checking down for 0, it's sort of like you use a bit of both. I mean this Queen 7 seems pretty okay though. Like, it doesn't like Queen 8's blocking the 10-8, right? And like 10-8 is the more reasonable one of those hands to go with, although it's probably check raising less on the flop because it's only like a dominated gut shot, crushed by King 10. I mean, yeah, Queen, like if you're calling down the top pair, this one seems okay. And you're gonna have to make some 1-pair defense here. Seems fine.
Well, nice. Yeah, if you got a call with 1 pair, then there's probably not a better one than this, right?
Yeah, I mean, like you'd rather
Queen 8 is worse for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, Ace Queen is an unblocking hand, but like surely Villain can just have 7-8 for value. He's not going to be that scared of running into it, is he?
Yeah, and you blocked like low. I'm not sure if you blocked the 8-7 backdoor, which would check raise more, but I also wonder if like 8-7 suited is often going to be limp free betting him. Yeah, I mean, it just seems like a fine hand. I think like in game, I probably wouldn't be trying to get like as deep into that, and I would just think you have to defend this sometimes,
and 8-7 off would just be a limp fold, would it?
No, 8-7 off will be in there, but it's just like if you have 8-7 with the back door, you're gonna like check raise it more on the flop, right? Whereas like the 8-7 off, like the 8-7 random suit's gonna be harder to say. I'm just comparing like 7 of hearts to like having 7 of clubs.
Right. Yeah. But like 3.5x, you would limp call 8-7 off.
Oh, see, I don't limp the small blind, so I don't have to know.
Really?
This. Yeah, and I go to 3x as my ISO.
Why wouldn't you limp the small blind? Oh.
If there's enough to study in poker without adding that.
But like you play against it, so you need to know anyway.
Yeah, but then I only need to know my half of the game tree. Like, because I don't go to 3.5, so I go to 3, right? So I don't need to know what's in the limp call to 3.5, right?
Yeah, fair enough.
So yeah, I mean, it seems like it would be in there. I would guess it was. It probably it makes a pretty big difference on this hand. So I'm just gonna have to like hand wave it. Yeah, I mean, like I assume that rigged knows whether it's in there or not, and that might have played like that might be why he ends up flicking it in. He just goes, oh no, 8-7 off, so like nothing's actually really got there. Or I mean he just. I was talking about this at length the other day. Like Kevin is just an aggressive guy who puts in stacks a lot, and it's just pretty hard to, it's pretty hard to know what side to fall because he's just very good at repping value when he's bluffing. He doesn't really give the game away. So you're just gonna have to make some like low confidence bluff catches just to keep him honest. Where you end up RNGing and like. I mean, yeah.
Wow, Barack gets himself into another spot of bother against Matt. Quite an interesting. No wonder Barack's been silent. He didn't want this hand to get mentioned.
Oh, please do.
Maybe have a look on Cash Game Table 5.
have a look at this.
There's nothing I enjoy more than seeing Brack punt off.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, it just looks like a brutal spot.
Yeah, I had a pretty good hand against Marinelli.
So you face the checkers, so you got ace queen. Did you have a diamond or a heart on
No.
the ace? No. And then pretty disgusting river.
I mean, it's a fake disgusting river.
You think he makes like one pair there a bunch and bluffs it, or you don't think he takes his showdown with a jack or some shit if he rivers it?
I think it's a tricky spot. So, like the way these spots work, so you have a value range, right? Your value range is centered around like hands like Queen 7, Queen 9, right? Because most of your I bet small on the flop. Most of your flop 2 pairs and sets they just check raise on the flop. So then, yeah.
What's your pre-flop sizing, Barack? Is it 2.5x?
2.5x. Yeah.
Right.
So obviously he has
having
Queen 9
the spades is pretty decent. Yeah.
Yeah, he probably has Queen 7 off with this rake structure. Pretty close, but it's probably a defend. I mean, I'm not sure which charts he's using, but it's probably a defense for him. And then the river is kind of interesting because it's not really a bad card. It doesn't really have many like 10-8 or like King 10, right? Like I should have more of them if anything. Like the King 10 of Hearts, 10-8 of Hearts, all these hands are very likely to take my line more than him because he would have check raised the flop a lot. He would have pre-flop sometimes, etc.
So you think it's like
really
a little bit scare card for him with Queen 7 and Queen 9?
Yeah, and then
do you think he would jam Queen 7 100% of the time anyway on this river?
Yeah. It means you'll beat a bit more, but you still run it. Like.
Yeah. You probably check. Yeah, like you check call some weak hands. You check call some. So your bluffs on the turn are gonna be obviously some draws, but then you have like these semi-bluff hands that are like 7x, 9x. That basically like 9x is decent, blocking my Queen 9 or whatever, and getting like kind of like what we call the draw on. You get called by a draw, but you fold out some better hands. So
and do you think he would bluff the 9 on the river if that's the line he took?
I just think this is a very bad river for him when he has like a 7 or a 9x or whatever. Just because
you make a lot of one pair with a flush draw jack.
Yeah. Like, yeah, I'm just gonna hit like a bunch of jack X hands, and then these hands that usually check. Like, let's say the river was a brick. Now his 9x and 7x are very rarely bluffing, if anything. And yeah, on the jack river they have to bluff sometimes because they just have less showdown value, and you sometimes hit your you hit some stuff around the jack. So yeah, you just have to start bluffing them more. Yeah, it's interesting. It's a bit of a complex spot. I just think having the ace is kind of neutral, and yeah, just Queen of Spades too good. And yeah, I just decided to call, so didn't even tank much.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds a lot more close than when I first saw it, and it looked kind of brutal. But,
yeah.
Makes sense. Thanks for the explanation.
Sure.
So when you're playing, Owen, you're just rating the games now?
Yeah, no, I was thinking about getting now.
Come, we have open seats. Come on, Owen.
Yeah, I can't talk while playing though. I need my zen, chill environment, which is exactly why I came to stay with Llama. He provides that for me.
Come on, don't be a pussy.
No, I'm so bad talking while playing, man. I've done this experiment. It's cost me way too much money. So yeah, I think I'm gonna have to let you guys go so that I can go bum hump Barack. I mean Marinelli. That's what I meant. Sorry, that slipped.
All right, bro.
Yeah.
Sweet.
All right.
Thanks for
In a
coming.
bit, guys. See you. No worries.
Later, bro. And yeah, Barack, I might piss off 2 minutes. Getting late for me, and I still got a few things to do before bed. But thanks for coming on and stuff, man. And if you want to stay on with Johan, you feel free to do so. But otherwise, good luck at the tables, man. And yeah, it was cool.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm probably gonna leave soon as well. Might also quit playing soon.
Now that Owen comes, right?
No, I'll take Owen's money and then I quit, I guess.
You got to win one buy-in and then you can quit.
Yeah, just insta quit. It was so funny. I was playing with Llama the other day. It was like late night, free-handed, like 4 tables or something, and I win a massive pot against him. And then I was literally so tired. I had like 1 MTT running left. Then I finished playing the MTT. I instantly want to go to sleep. So it was like 20 minutes after I stack him on a like 400 BB pot or something. Then he just insta goes like, he starts messaging like he PM'd me going like, what the fuck, sit back in, where are you going, fucking Jew boy, whatever. I like Llama too much. I don't know why, but I just like him.
He's got a very honest nature. I think it's likable characteristic.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
All right, man. GG. Catch you later, and good luck on the leaderboard climb.
Thank you. See ya.
All right. See ya, Johan. Bye-bye.
Have a good night, Kaki. Would it be okay if I ask you a few questions?
Yeah, sure.
I want to make sure you're not in like any big hand or something. Or actually, I'm a bit surprised that you're able to talk so easily while playing so many tables.
Yeah, it's more tiring, I guess, than usual.
Yeah.
And also, I was quiet for a bit when I had some spots. Yeah, now I feel a bit like my energy is about to drain, but it's whatever. I'm usually I don't mind it. I don't do it often, but I don't mind it.
And how about like when the stream is running and you're playing? Are you listening to it as well?
Sometimes I usually just like to I'm most focused when listening to music. Like I was listening to music before I joined, but sometimes just mix it up. I contacted. I was talking to Kaki about something else, and I just figured I asked him if he wanted to do it because I as you saw, like I'm not like I will talk some strategy, but I don't like to talk much about my strategy in public, and also I just kind of wanted in for the jokes.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
yeah.
I was actually thinking about this earlier because you were in an all-in with Kevin. And I was like, surely Kevin is listening in on the stream to see if he can like, pick up on anything because it happened with Sil before when he was like going all in and stuff and he was very quiet. And then obviously as soon as like there was a slow roll situation, he started like making a lot of noise and laughing. And now you were quiet at first, but then you started talking because like he was taking his time on the river to decide whether he was going to call. And then you made a few comments about other things. And I was like, for sure, if he's listening right now, he's trying to pick up on whether you're strong or not. No? Like, do you think that would make sense? Or did you even think about that?
I think it would make sense, but the thing is, like, I'm no like I have live experience, but I'm not like a live pro.
Yeah.
But when I play online, unless I play like a massive pot, I would say mostly I'm just very chill. So like, yeah, if I'm all in for 10k, I can probably freely talk and not give away much. But maybe he was. You never know.
Yeah. It makes sense, right? That somebody would try and like find any way they can to play even better against someone.
Yeah, for sure.
Are you surprised?
Maybe he
that...
doesn't even know there is a stream going. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I would expect
It's
him
also
to. Do you think
it's also possible.
most players that are playing, are they listening to the stream while they're playing, or do you think they wait until later to maybe watch?
It's very different. Like I told you that I like to listen to music.
Yeah.
I know some other guys that are playing because they're my friends, and I know they don't even listen to music, or like any small thing can distract them. So they just try to keep it as quiet as possible, or have a very quiet environment. Whatever. For me, it's sometimes like that, but usually I kind of like something about I don't know, maybe the consistency of music or something just keeps me focused.
Yeah.
So it's very different, I would say. You never know.
Of course. When joining this challenge, did you have any like specific goal or expectation? Was it just to face the best and have fun, or did you like put any pressure on yourself to really try hard to get at the top of the leaderboard?
So at first, the main reason for joining for me was probably just because GG games are gone and I had no action. I mean, those battles used to run anyway, like not with all of those guys, only with the most tough ones, I guess, or like with some of those the like some of the tough guys and some of the newer guys, you might call them. And then I used to play those battles sometimes even a lot, but yeah, over the last year, not really. So at first I kind of joined just because of just having nothing else to play, and I'm in Bahamas right now, so I wasn't really expecting to play, but the schedule is pretty weird here. That like I'm gonna have like basically busted 100k today. I'm gonna have a lot of days off now.
Yeah.
So I will probably just mix in playing, chilling, I don't know, doing a bunch of stuff around here. So yeah, I'm I just have a few hands.
Yeah, don't worry.
So and then coming into the challenge, I guess I was more into I kind of want to play more and whatever, and also I was down a lot to start, and then now I'm up, like I'm number 4 or something, so kind of wanna go for it, but also not really like playing too many hours, just kind of like not forcing it.
That's a good way. Nice jam. Got through.
Yeah.
I see that and ace ace. And you unfortunately have to fold this one. Okay, if you want to focus or go, I would understand. And yeah, it was really nice of you actually to join and all these guys. I'm a little bit surprised that you guys can play for the stakes and actually manage to talk at the same time. Like a happy surprise. It's been really nice to hear from you guys like this. And I guess you get to battle with Prodigy now for a little bit as well.
Yeah.
Sick. Prodigy is like me. I feel like I don't know. It's just too hard to talk and play at the same time. It's even like that for video games. You know, I was pro player in 2 different video games, and it's like I cannot talk much for some reason. You just enter like a weird zone where it just becomes
What
too
did you
difficult.
play? Which games?
Warcraft 3 and Starcraft 2.
Yeah, I know both names, and like I knew a bunch of people who play them, but I never even had like 1 minute of play on either of them.
But what did you play before poker?
Not much. I guess I played some Maple Story as a kid and some Counter Strike,
Okay.
but yeah, I never really played anything else. I guess FIFA, yeah,
But casually.
but yeah, I just knew like it's funny like during COVID, my friends were playing Counter Strike again, and I just try to avoid it as much as I can because I knew that like if I find a game that's really like new and very fun for me, it's just gonna like I'm playing so many hours and you know
Yeah.
sitting on my ass just playing and doing stuff around poker that's just like not very healthy for you. And then if you find a game now, it's you're just not gonna do anything else with your time. Just stay on the computer all day. So I've been really trying to avoid games for the last like 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, it's as good as you are at poker. I guess it makes sense to want to do that. But don't you have something to like decompress, or like you try to make sure it's something else than video games, which are very addictive?
Yeah, I mean, I just try to like I've had a lot of times where like I finish a session late at night and I have like this adrenaline that doesn't let me go to sleep.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, or like just like lose a lot or something, and I'd be a bit depressed. And then what I would do is usually try to like when I lose, I had some emotional eating sometimes. So I would just get something tasty to eat and kind of like eat it off. And
I do
when I
that too.
was just, yeah, I think a lot of people do that over
Yeah.
a lot of stuff, not only poker. I try to do it less these days, but definitely had times where I did it a lot. And then when I would just like have like these sessions where like I win a lot or like just very stressful sessions for some reasons or just finish playing and I have you know pretty high adrenaline or something, and then I will just take a walk. Usually it helped me like just 30 minutes to 1 hour walk, and if not a walk then just watch TV for a bit, stuff
Yeah.
like that, you know, nothing too special.
I think going for a walk is almost like meditation because you like it's yourself with your own mind. You're thinking a lot about things, so it's a good way to do that and kind of settle your mind down. And yeah, about the food, I was in Vegas this summer, and then whenever I would have like a couple bad beats and stuff, I was if I was playing at the Bellagio, I would go to snacks and get the chocolate mousse. I had this chocolate mousse too many times this summer because they kept sucking out. It was so sick.
Yeah, I know how you feel. Yeah, I used to live with 2 poker roommates, and like 3 4 years ago, both of them are good friends of mine, and they used to occasionally, you know, come home like late or just like wake up early while I'm playing an all-nighter or something, and they would see me just, you know, sitting down eating like a pancake or something. And they'd be like, "Tough night, huh?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So yeah, I know what it's like. Yeah.
But to be honest, with the foods, you can do it either way, right? Because like you can eat something sweet because like you won, and then it's celebratory. And then if you lost, because then it's like to cheer you up. So you can have it both way too.
Yeah, I think it's kind of there is many ways around it. It's just like some people. So I had an interesting discussion about it recently. So you know, a lot of my mental strange, I guess, around poker is just like turning down emotions at certain points.
Yeah.
and that's very good when you're like, today I had like a sick beat. I busted 100k third bullet after already doubling up on max late bullet, whatever, and feeling it, and then just get a sick cooler and bust. And then I obviously was a bit tilted. It's fine, but my emotions were like not too special, and the reason being is that we turn them down. I think a lot of poker players have that system. You just turn them down, kind of. And the problem about it is that it's not like it's only turned down when you're losing. It's also turned down when you're winning, and it's also turned down around different things in your life. So it's interesting. It's interesting because other people, like I have some friends who play mid stakes and stuff, and I would see them like go on these sick rages, when they lose a hand or something, or like tilt and make like ridiculously stupid decisions later. Like I had a friend who played 5-10 at the win in Vegas, and then he like run bet or something, lose like 2 binds, and then what he did was get drunk and play 10-20. Like that's obviously like very stupid, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So this guy is gonna enjoy winning way more than I do, because like he is not turning his emotion down as far as I am, I guess, if it makes sense. And
Yeah, it
that
does.
just works. That just works for both ways. That's just how it is, and you have to first of all accept it, and that there's some areas about life where you're just not as happy as you used to be, or like as you would like to be, or like you're not super excited about some stuff. So first of all, you have to accept it. Second of all, you have to work on it. You have to, yeah, it's an entire thing. Yeah.
It's about balance, I guess, right? Pretty much. In video games, it's similar. Like, I played only strategy games, like in my whole life mostly, and I played 2 of them professionally. And it's like, there's so many tournaments where a player plays in the finals, he wins, and then he just like barely has any smile or anything. And then people were always
Yeah.
like, as a spectator, they're like, what's going on? Like, why is this guy not happy? Well, the thing is, he dedicated so much time to practice, and then, like having the success, it's nice, but it almost feels normal. And also, you have that zone that you're in when you play. You almost have to come back to reality after a game. It takes a little bit of time. Like for 30 minutes or an hour, you were really only thinking about the video game. So you forget the real world. And then as the game ends, you see people clap or whatever, you're on the stage. It takes a little bit of time. So it's not as easy. Of course, if like a random person was to win a video game tournament, they would absolutely lose it. But no, it's different. And I feel like for poker, there is that similarity where I know exactly what you mean. You learn to shut down your emotions, because obviously getting too emotional will lead to not good decisions, but then it's hard to enjoy the wins as much. So it's all about like finding that balance where you can kind of go back to your emotions and feeling the positive ones as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Also, it's like for me, some wins I would be happier about, some less, I guess. And it's not always like the amount of the money. It can be other stuff around it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. It's I try to just, even if I have like a big win and I don't feel much, I would just try to force myself to do something about it. Just like invite a bunch of friends over, or like get a nice dinner, or like just do anything nice. It doesn't have to be special. Just like, I don't know, really nothing super special or anything. Just like even sit with myself, think about it later, just like,
Yeah.
I played really well today. I won some money. Just like, I don't know, just like that's even enough. Just like not letting it slip,
For sure.
because otherwise it's just like you're being too negative in a way. Because when you lose, even though it's not as strong as it is for other people, you still feel negative emotions, right? So you do want to have positive emotions as well. Yeah.
In poker, there's a lot of traps like this too, and I feel like at high stakes, probably you guys obviously you have like so much experience and you really understand the game and variance, so probably you don't have that as much. I mean, I would hope so, but in lower stakes, like I see it all the time, and even it happens to me sometimes. It's like I get coolered a bunch of times, and then obviously I'm unhappy, and then I cooler someone, and then it's like it's justice, you know, it's justified. So I'm not even like that happy because it was meant to happen because I got unlucky so many times. And it's like such a bad mindset to be in, but I feel like a lot of people kind of have that.
Yeah, yeah. When you, yeah, I used to say it a lot that you just don't deserve anything in poker. It's it's a mindset that a lot of us has, and it's very bad. It doesn't make a lot of sense. It's just like, yeah, it's not a thing. You just deserve nothing, and it's sometimes hard to accept because sometimes you play like a very soft game or like very soft tournament, whatever. Then you bust, or like, yeah, you lose a lot. You see these other guys succeeding, and you're like, I'm way better than them, and that's a problem that a lot of players have, even on high stakes. And it's obviously, even for me, it's sometimes tilting, you know.
Yeah.
But you just have to, yeah, again, like you have to put things into proportion, and you sometimes have to just try to see why you feel that way. Like there's a lot of emotions behind that stuff. It's not only like um, the things that happen above surface. Some things are below surface. You know, just like we all have like our emotional baggage and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's super interesting stuff. Yeah.
You kind of strike me as like a very happy. I mean, I didn't know you, you know, before you joined on this call today, and like we start talking. But I feel like from only seeing Avatar and people playing cards, I kind of expect like you know unemotional people behind their screen, focused on their game, not really cracking jokes. So like that's myth has been shattered here with this event because now you're in the call, you're making jokes, you're laughing all the time, and then you're playing at the same time. You're doing pretty well, from what I can see as well. So it's really not at all like, you know, like I would have thought, like I would have expected.
Yeah, I think in general, like high stakes community is different. I think, and also I would say I'm again like less emotional when I play than most people. So it's yeah, it's hard to make the. But yeah, you can see other guys like I guess C Lama and yeah, Owen Prodigy, who are kind of like they have a lot of similarities to myself.
Yeah.
Like yeah, just not as emotional and not as like yeah.
Yeah, but now am I
But
meant to?
other people, I don't know. Think I'm not sure. I've just met so many different uh, kind of people in poker, so it's really hard to say like people are this or that, you know.
Yeah. I was gonna say, am I meant to believe now that everyone's like that? You know, all these guys they're in calls, like joking around with their friends and crushing someone else
No,
at the
yeah,
same time.
probably not. Yeah.
So what's your plan in terms of, like you said, you had a couple days now. You're just gonna hit the pool and do the. Is there like the dolphin thingy and stuff?
Yeah, I it's my first time here, and I've actually only been here for 2 days, and I
wow.
was playing poker the entire time. So I think what I'm gonna do is, yeah, wake up kind of early tomorrow, see like try to see if anybody that I know around. I don't have many friends here, but talk to whoever is here and not playing, and try to get to, yeah, try to just do some stuff. Yeah, maybe go. I saw they have some snorkeling around. Maybe do some snorkeling. Maybe do some go to the dolphins thing. go to some restaurants, maybe shopping. I don't know. Just kind of like explore the place because it's actually. I've heard a lot of people saying it's a very boring place, but I don't know. It's like 26 Celsius degrees, and it seems like there are some nice beaches. I don't know. Probably some stuff to do around here.
They probably already did like all the activities, is my guess. I think there's like a pigs or something on the beach too. Like there's like a lot of random activities like this you can do. That I would
Yeah, and
expect to be
also
fun.
I can play some on this challenge, and I can just chill at the pool or something. Yeah,
You mean play this challenge from the pool?
that's an interesting idea. That might work.
Can you play more than 4 table on laptop?
Yeah, right now I'm playing 6.
You don't have like an actual monitor, like you're playing on a laptop monitor?
Yeah, but my screen is pretty big.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like, yeah,
Gaming laptop.
or a laptop, I guess.
How did you become friend with Prodigy and Llama, just from playing together and like talking online?
Prodigy is on the same study group as I am, and so we know each other for a while now. And Llama, just we played each other again and again and again, and then at some point we actually became friends. Yeah.
Llama is very funny. I think he made like a lot of fans. I mean, all of you guys that have hopped on calls and hung out with the viewers and commentated, I think for sure you guys have made a ton of fans, myself included. Like it's been really great hearing from you. But Llama is at the top of that list because very funny
100%.
and a huge DJ.
100%. Yeah. And I'm saying that even though he roasted me a couple times.
He meant well, I think.
Yeah.
We know to take what he says with a grain of salt. Yeah, the nuts only thing was pretty funny too. Like obviously a very obvious exaggeration. And the Zora, the Zora really surprised me that you brought that up. I was like, where is he going with this? And then he's like, yeah, he sent me some religious text.
Yeah, there's been some funny stuff. Yeah.
Actually, he fully revealed the secret as well of his run goods. Everybody.
He wanted to say something that I didn't allow him today.
Yeah.
That's actually one of the funniest stories I've ever had, but it's just too personal.
Yeah, of course.
I wouldn't be surprised if he goes ahead and just can't help himself and say it anyway. but I have a 90% certainty that he's not going to.
Even he has to set some boundaries, I think.
Yeah.
Was there any player in this that you ended up being very impressed by?
To be honest, most of the players that I'm playing, like almost all of them, I've played a bunch against. So yeah, I can't really like how many players I didn't play a bunch. Maybe only like maybe like 3 guys that I didn't play much. 4 guys that I didn't play much, and yeah, I don't think any of them like impressed me too much during the challenge. Like obviously they are competent, but I just don't think they're as good as like you said, like somebody who really impressed me. I think the guys who really impressed me are just the guys who really impressed me before.
Okay.
Yeah.
And for aspiring poker players that would like someday to play at those stakes, like if somebody gets really hard in the lab, takes poker super seriously, and they study hard, how long would you say it is gonna take them at the minimum? Like how many years? I'm actually curious, like, because you must know how long it took for like yourself or like a bunch of these players to actually make it to the high stakes.
Yeah, so it's very difficult. It's kind of funny. For me, it was very quick. Like probably for Owen as well, for C Lama as well. We're all pretty young. And yeah, I've only been playing professionally for 6 years. And I've already been playing Nosebleed for like 3 years now. So yeah, it's been very quick. For some other players, it's been a longer ride. I would say it's definitely possible for if you're very very talented, hardworking, and you're around the right people. And yeah, you just need to be a successful poker player. You just need so many different small skill sets to be able to succeed. So if everything is right there, you could make it in like 3-4 years, definitely. Maybe even less these days with all the tools that are available and the programs and whatever.
Yeah.
But I would say that like if you look at the top 10, 20 guys, probably on average it was a longer ride than that. Maybe like 5 to 6 years. I don't know. Yeah, some people 3 years, some people 10 years. I don't know. It's pretty hard to know for sure. And also there is a thing about poker where like I know they have these like a friend who plays basketball told me before that you have these things. So for NBA, what do you call it? The guys who go to look for players.
Scouts.
Yeah, so the scouts, they have like this parameter basically that they go look for college players and they could tell like they have these numbers like between 1 and 10 or something.
Yeah.
Like how
Rating.
good. Yeah, like how good is this guy gonna be? Like from his stats, like physical stats, playing stats, whatever, and then they just go by it basically. And for poker, it's so much different because you just have to like take so many things into account that you have no idea about. Like if you see somebody playing for a week, let's say you give me, you show me a young guy and he's you show me his entire life and lifestyle and how he's playing poker and like everything for a week. You know how he's studying, who he's studying with, everything like that. Maybe I can like give you a number, but I just feel like it's so hard to predict like growth and stuff around it.
Yeah.
I literally have no idea like how to do that.
Because like you said, there's like too many factors to take in consideration.
Yeah,
It's-
and they're just like they're just not super like out there for you to just,
Yeah, yeah. So like those factors, like obviously there is like the obvious, you talked about talent and like putting in the work, studying and stuff, but then there is like, what would be the rest? Would you guess like intuition, control of emotions, like all of these are very important, like almost equally, would you say?
Yeah, I think it's just like it's just like wow, so many different ones.
Yeah. Not being stubborn, I guess, like being open-minded, especially about strategy, discipline.
Yeah, it's like it's like like not having a lot of ego. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of just small ones. It's kind of hard for me to name them now while playing, but yeah.
Someone asked in the chat if you remember playing Dog Polk Heads Up. Harbs asked that.
If I what?
If you remember playing Dog Polk Heads Up, well, I'm pretty sure you remember, yeah, but I think he wants to hear about that experience.
I never played Duck Ball Heads Up.
Okay, well then he doesn't
Maybe
remember.
he's
No, I'm just
confusing
kidding.
me He's probably confusing me with Owen.
Okay. Someone asked,
And
"What is?"
Owen just blasted against me. He made me fold a better bluff.
Yeah.
Fucking Owen.
What a guy. And someone asked, "What is hard work for Barack? 12 hours a day. How do you define hard work?"
I think the answer is different for different people. You have to really know yourself. So for me, every time I take a break or I play like an MTT series for a while and then come back to cash games, whatever, I would be like out of shape, a bit washed up, and it would take me a certain amount of time to get back. And in order to get back, what I usually do is I just play a lot for a couple weeks, and then I just really get into it. And I do study some, but not a lot, not as much as other players do. But that's what works for me.
Yeah.
While as like for my friends and stuff, they would just get back, study a lot, play a little bit, get back into it slowly, you know.
Yeah, sure.
Review every single hand they played and stuff. For me, it's just about gaining the confidence and whatever back, and just at some point, obviously studying some, but just something clicks back in my brain, and then I just I'm confident enough to play again. Usually takes a week or two. So I think it's just understanding what works for you, and also like if you mean how many hours, then there is no question, like there is no answer for that again. Like because for me, sometimes I would be willing to play for 12, 14, 10 hours, I don't know, very long sessions. And sometimes I kind of just want to play short sessions every day and chill, I don't know. Some other people, different things work for them, I guess. So you just really have to know yourself and what works for you.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Do you have something where if you get tired enough, or like if you feel like you're starting to play your B and C game, then you make sure that you stop, or you feel like those might still be good enough, or you're sharp enough that you're not gonna have that much of a decline, even if you start being a little bit tired?
Usually I feel like there were like very rarely sessions where I quit because I felt like I wasn't playing well enough.
Yeah.
The only reasons I quit were like I was just dead tired, or like I want to go and the games not good enough for me to stay, whatever, like stuff like that. But I definitely know that some people, they would just be like, yeah, I'm playing like shit today, so it's time to quit.
Yeah.
And that's that takes a lot of again, that's like very important, because if you feel that way, it's probably for a reason, right? For me, I don't know, I just, again, I don't tilt much, and even when I do, it just doesn't affect my game as much.
Yes.
So yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, we don't see much chat like this during hands from players. Nice pickup.
Yeah.
It's rare. Like you can like. Does it bother him that much to fold, or was he just feeling curious? I guess it's like he saw it's not the show table. He really wants to know, maybe. What was your ascension like? Because you said like you were pro for 6 years. So what limits? From what limits to what limit did you go to initially? And I'm curious, like, what was your routine then during that time? Because we talked about, like, for everyone it's different. But then, and also you talked about maybe now you don't study as much as some of these other players. But I can only assume back then you probably played a lot and studied a lot.
So yeah, I had a very different background from a lot of these guys. I started playing MTTs. Yeah, basically run it up from low stakes to kind of like high stakes MTTs, I guess. Like not today numbers high stakes, because today high stakes MTTs are like online 2Ks, 5Ks, 10Ks on a Sunday, you know. But it used to be like 500s and 1Ks used to be the highest stake most of the time, like 5-6 years ago. So kind of run it up around there, then just start mixing a lot of live poker, live MTTs. Had a lot of success there as well, playing like 1Ks, 2Ks, 5Ks and stuff. Then at some point, COVID happened, and then there was like a bit of an MTT boom online. I played a bunch, and I felt like, you know, nobody knew how long COVID is gonna be, and I kind of felt like it's a bit too much for me. Like if life doesn't go back to what it was soon enough, then I don't want to keep. I live in Israel, so I don't want to keep going to sleep 7 a.m. or like 5 a.m. every day. So I got the idea of trying to transition into cash games.
Okay.
So beginning of 2021, that's when I transitioned, and yeah, made a pretty quick transition. I had a lot of, like, not a lot of money, but yeah, like I started playing 5-10 basically, 10-20, and I already had like a lot of binds for that game, I guess. So yeah, it's I was very overawed for the games I was playing, and then just run it up really quickly from 5-10, 10-20 to basically 200, 400 by the end of the year. Yeah.
That's fast. So you had really good discipline not to play in big games that you could have been enrolled in, but maybe you didn't have the experience to play in yet, I guess.
Yeah, I just, you know, back then I was thinking like, you know, 25, 50 online must be, you know, must be just a bunch of insane players.
Yeah.
And then a few months later, I was already winning those games for 10 BB 100. So
Wow.
yeah, it's yeah, it was the first climb.
And then the studying when you were coming up, did you ever have like a routine? You made sure to always have do like 1 hour a day, or was it like how you play and you just gonna do it field based depending on whether there is the need or not?
It's a bit different for me. I just always had, like, all the way I had buddies who just play similar games as I do. Even when I was playing MTTs, when I was playing 5-10, later on when I was playing higher stakes, today, it's all the same. Just have buddies who play the same games, and then we just talk strategy every day, basically. And that's more than enough for me. Like, I also obviously research some hands and stuff, but that's already like 1 or 2 hours of poker a day.
Yeah.
Just talking to people. So that's kind of like my favorite study.
Alex on YouTube asked, has playing cash game made you improve in tournaments as well?
Yeah, 100%. You just have a big edge on tournament players on early stages, as long as obviously you learn the ranges and stuff, because they're a bit different. You just like playing level 1 of a tournament, like 100 to 200, 300 big blinds deep. MTT guys don't really know what they're doing, and you have a big edge over there. And also, you just a lot of studying, a lot of yeah, like your improvement as a poker player is just you're studying these solver concepts, right? You're not like, oh, looking up a hand like, wow, yeah, I played well. Solver likes my play. That's cool. You're trying to understand why solver is doing a certain thing. So you're realizing the concept, and then you can imply it in different spots. So that's kind of similar because eventually you play a cash game hand today with certain ranges on SPR 9. Tomorrow you're gonna play SPR 9, different ranges, everything different, but the concepts are gonna be similar in a way. Like you can find similar concepts to use. So that's kind of how I like to think about it. So definitely learning, how to play one format would help you play the other one. Except for maybe like you could argue that maybe like if you learn ICM for tournaments, it's not gonna help you much in cash games probably.
Yeah. And do you prefer live or online, or do you just enjoy going back and forth? Because personally, that's kind of my experience. Like, you know, when I play live, I enjoy it, but I kind of missed online because it's like much faster. You can play a lot of tables, and then vice versa. Like when I play online, I'm like, wow, people so good, you know, compared to live. Obviously, I just play like the lowest stakes possible, pretty much. But yeah, online does feel much tougher. So do you have anything similar, and like it's all about balance, going back and forth, and you just enjoy all of it?
I think I enjoy online way more these days. It's just like you said, it's way faster. It's just mostly way faster, more action, more tables. And for me, I like the lifestyle more. You know, you don't have to play 8 to 12 hours in order to play a session, which is usually what happens live, whether you play a tournament or a cash game. So I like it more. And like everything around it these days, I like it more. Yeah, you often play these. It's kind of like one of the reasons I transitioned. You just sit down, play for 1, 2, 3 hours, close your computer, and then go do whatever you want.
Yeah. And why go to the Bahamas then?
What is it?
Yeah, you went to Bahamas, right? So why? Like you felt like there was something specific you wanted to play, or to vary a little bit?
I think if you don't mix it up at all, then you're just gonna burn out.
Yeah.
Just do the same thing again and again every day for many years, you're just gonna burn out. And also, just I thought like there's great EV. Also, I don't have games right now, so like I have the challenge, but I don't think it's like an amazing EV thing. They just have a few really good tournaments here. I've never been to Bahamas, and they had like some promotions, so and really good satellites. So like I got the room for free here. I got like some tournament ticket for free. I basically had like a 2.5k satellite ticket for free on GG, and then I won a ticket to the 26k online flight, and then you bag directly into day 3.
Oh, okay.
So that's also pretty cool. Yeah, that's why I have so many days off now, because there's gonna be a bunch of day 1 flights and then day 2.
Oh, okay.
With not much else going. And yeah, I have some friends that I don't see often that are here, that they go through the live stops. I don't know. It's kind of fun. It's kind of fun still. I still will go to between 2 and 3 live stops a year, I guess. I kind of like going to Vegas for the summer. A lot of my friends go, and I kind of like it. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, Vegas is really fun when you know a bunch of people there. There's like a lot of good food and stuff.
Yeah, and it's nice because there is always something to play. And you can actually do some other stuff as well when you want to take a day off. You can also travel to like I don't know, other places nearby. Yeah, I think Vegas is like my favorite stop, not because of the place itself. I've been too many times and too long, but just because of like the people who usually go in the summer, some good friends, and the games that you just have like so many things to play. I don't know, even if for me, I still enjoy playing some really big field 5Ks, 10Ks, and stuff. Even like a 3K occasionally. Yeah.
You said there's always something to play in Vegas, but for cash, is that actually true?
No,
I heard.
that's horrible.
Yeah. Okay. So you mean like tournaments?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I heard a lot about cash. How hard it can be to get into like really any game and stuff these days for good players.
Yeah. It's everything is kind of private these days. There are some games, but yeah, most of it is private.
What's the highest game you could get in Vegas where like they would actually let you play?
Feels like this summer I probably played a couple of like 50, 100 and 100, 200 games, but that was very rare. Like that was like a certain weekend that they ran, but usually it was like way lower than that. Usually like 20, 40 or like 25, 50.
Like these games interest you as well, or not as much?
Not really, because like I don't even play 25, 50 that much online anymore. So
Yeah.
playing 25, 50 live would have been a disaster for me. Like I could play a session. It's not like I wouldn't play a session if I want to, but probably just too boring.
Yeah, I'll ask you guys question in the chat in a second. Just gonna wait for this big hand here to be done. It's still going strong, actually. The tables are still pretty full. I mean, there's like 1 or 2 empty seats on some of them, but action going on through the night. It kind of feels like the hours are like almost like set at this point. Like there is the almost like 7 or 8 p.m. break that happens, and then after that the game resume and go on for a while longer. Then noon to afternoon Central European time also, like they're already pretty much going. Meaning I need to start waking up earlier to commentate those as well. I was letting you think in silence for once.
Yeah.
that looked like a tough one.
Yeah, I'm tired of them raising me on the turn. It starts to feel like a joke by now. Yeah, it was a tough one. But yeah, I think there is like what you were saying. There is like 2 different time zones. The American time zone, which is now the European time zone, which is yeah, it's just earlier today. You actually see some European guys playing now, but everybody else, like absolute top up is American, I believe. I'm in the Bahamas. Rig Deck, I think, is somewhere in Asia, which is also a decent time zone right now. It's probably morning or something.
Yeah.
And Prodigy is at Vegas. I don't know about Kevin, where he is, but
I think in
if he's in
Netherlands.
Europe, then it's like 3 a.m. or like 2 a.m. right now.
2:44.
Depends where he is. Yeah. So
he's dedicated to the grind for sure. He seems very motivated. He's been putting in the hours for sure. I mean, a lot of people have.
yeah, he's been playing a lot. Yeah, I see him all day. The last 3 to 4 days.
Miz in the chat asked, "What about breaks? How often does he take days off?"
Probably once or twice a week. I would take a day off. Yeah.
Like, do you make sure you always take it? Like, it's important. Like, personally, I kind of have that too, where like I stream a lot, video games and stuff, and I play a lot of them. But I make sure that there is one day usually where like I don't touch games at all, pretty much.
Yeah, it's Yeah, it's just like they just happen. And if they don't, it's usually for a good reason. Like if I didn't take a day off this week, then just games are too good. Or like maybe I just play for 2 weeks straight, but I play 3 hours every day, you know?
Yeah. This says Kevin playing 10 hours plus for 3 days. Yeah, I've seen him a lot at the table. One of the more active players. I guess I kind of woke up late today. So I didn't see if earlier Linus was playing a lot, but here in the evening session he's not there. At first it seemed like Linus was the one like putting in insane hours also, but maybe slow down a bit. Especially at night.
Yeah,
I think
it's also it's not very easy to play so many hours.
Yeah.
When like I know for a fact that Linus didn't play much 10K before the challenge, like the past, I don't know, 1 or 2 years. Also, he won a lot this year on like insanely high games, like 40K, 100K, 80K, you know? So, yeah, it's not very easy to start playing lower stakes than you used to and grind. EV is eventually not that high. And he started off really strong and he lost a bunch back, so it's also very demotivating and stuff. I don't know. He got fucked by Greek deck. Nice hand.
Standard, would you say? The king.
What is it?
Is it standard, do you think, to call with a... I mean, you don't have to answer, I guess. He's probably listening. And for you, yeah.
I mean,
like you have the blocker, right?
River is whatever, but everything else, I don't know. It's probably whatever hand.
This has probably been asked to you like a million times, but Parir Azizian asked in the chat what advice you would give to mid-stakes players to go up in stakes faster. This is probably like the most commonly asked question to like really good players, I feel like.
It's really hard.
Just put in the work, dedicate your life to it.
Yeah, I think obsession, obsession to the game, like good obsession. Like it's never entirely good, you know, because some of it is not healthy. You're giving up other things in your life.
Yeah.
But in general, I think, yeah, just being really obsessed, and dedicating yourself to it, and just like, yeah, and then like the rest is hard for me to answer, just because I think for different people I would have different answers.
Yeah.
For the rest of it, just like it's too general to answer the rest.
Yeah, there is no like magical answer, like nobody's gonna be like, oh yeah, start betting turn or whatever more. No, it's just really like I feel like a combination of everything. Like you just have to work hard, study a lot, most definitely in this era. Not that I know what it takes to be a good poker player, but I feel like in video games it's kind of like that, because I get asked these questions very often, like what should I do there and stuff, and then it's kind of like in video games, maybe it's like similar to poker in that you need to take all of the data that you have and then combine it together to be able to choose what to do. Like a game mode I play a lot is like 4v4, and it's kind of like that. Like you have 4 races against 4 races. You look at who's next to you, and then what are the 4 races that you're facing. It's kind of like how you do the math, and you choose what hero and units you're gonna play. And like the more I play poker, the more I feel like it's kind of similar. I remember I saw I think it was a social media post maybe, or like an answer in an interview from Jason Kuhn, I think it was, where he was explaining his thought process in a hand, and it was like this long list of everything. Like, did my opponent recently lose a big pot? Did he seem irritated? Like, and that was on top of all the strategy talk. So he was really trying to factor in everything that he can, and like going through that entire list of things to check for. And would you agree with that? It's just like really, it comes down to like everything matters, kind of.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I remember that post by Jason, and I think it was like, oh wow, nice.
Wow, sick.
Yeah, I was like, I don't have the nuts, but I'm snap calling. Yeah, I definitely agree with Jason, and I think the post was about people taking some time, right, to make decisions or something.
Oh yeah, maybe. Yeah.
So he was like arguing for the players, for the professionals side of like, yeah, you have to take so many things into consideration, and
Yeah.
I definitely, I definitely agree. Yeah, like I said, there's many things that make you a good poker player. And talent and hard work is a mental game are just like major factors, but they're not everything.
Yeah, talent is like almost an entire topic on its own, really. Because like, what is talent really, if not like being able to somehow, in a way, learn quickly and do well with maybe less effort than somebody else? And then there's the whole discussion of hard work versus talent. You know, which one would you prefer to be?
Yeah, it's interesting though, because I definitely agree with you on 2024, but it used to be different. When I started playing, talent was like, there were so many people playing freestyle, and they were playing the highest stakes. They're just like really successful guys. Nowadays, you're playing freestyle. You can freestyle out of GTO for a while, but you can't like completely freestyle.
Yeah.
It's not gonna work for you in high stakes, because people are just gonna crash you. So I think talent used to be a much bigger factor before than it is now. And now you're right. Talent is the ability to be able to, kind of like, do everything else right, I guess.
What do you think about having a healthy lifestyle and like conditioning and all this stuff? Because I feel like every player, they kind of put different weight into that. Some of them, won't put much focus into it at all. And then, just to give an example, the Norwegian player that won the WSOP, what's his name again?
Espen.
Yeah, Espen. Yeah. So this guy's like super healthy, always working out and stuff, like solid diets. So he's like the exact opposite. I kind of feel like also like in Triton, a lot of the pros, Jason Kuhn and stuff, like super healthy. Like so some of these guys, it seems they put a lot of stock into like being very healthy, and like so their mind can be very sharp. But on the other side, there is some people that for sure don't put as much effort, or at least it doesn't appear so. So like, what's your thoughts on that, and like how important is it? Is it again about like what works for you?
I would say it's not. I would say you definitely want to go towards the side of being healthy, eating healthy, working out, having a solid sleeping routine. Like everything around that is extremely important. But it's not like do what works for you. But I can say that for me, it's not as bad effect to have like a bad routine, not working out for a while, eating like shit, as it is for like other people.
Yeah.
Like it's not as bad effect for the game and stuff. It definitely is very bad for life and whatever. But just from my experience, I know like that I have some friends who like they would go and be like, like I just can't do it. Like if I don't work out today, I can't play tomorrow, or stuff like that. And yeah, it would affect them a lot. For me, it's just like you let me sleep. I don't know. You give me some food and water. I'm gonna manage. But yeah, I don't know. It's I definitely think it's very important. It's just like there are so many things you don't even know that are going on, right? just like you're kind of like undermining yourself by fucking up your health. It's like focus, it's emotions. I don't know. It has to do with everything. Yeah, it's just brain clarity and stuff. I don't know.
Discipline is on paper like one of the most important things in relating to performance, because there's so many different things that you need to be disciplined on, like whether it's like diet, good sleep, like work ethic, like just working hard in general. All of those things are like very important.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, when you talked about obsession, it kind of took me back to like Conor McGregor. Like he used to, a while back when he was in his prime, he was giving interviews and he kept talking about how obsessed he was with this game, and that's what allowed him to succeed. And being an Irish MMA fighter, like there were not that many that were like very successful, and like he was able to become the biggest star in the sports at the time. And I kind of found it fascinating. I remember like watching a lot of the documentaries and stuff about it, and it really felt like he was obsessed with it because he was always doing work on all sorts of things, on movement as well. With I forgot what this guy's name is, but like he's one of the best movement coaches that there is. So he was working even on like different things that other fighters were focused on, like not just like the fighting, but actual like how to move in a certain way, even like comparing it with like certain animals and stuff. And it does feel like that's the best mindset, and I like that you brought up that it can also be a negative thing, because like I think it can drive you to being mad, like like drive you to madness, right? If you're too obsessed about something, like if you care a lot about it, like you might end up not just loving it but also kind of hating it. So do you feel like for you that was one of the biggest things that helped you to develop as a poker player, is how much you enjoyed it and ultimately were maybe obsessed about it?
Yeah, for sure. I basically gave 200% of myself to the game.
Yeah.
100, like, yeah, no doubt. And it's just like wake up, think about poker, think about hands, games. How can I improve? How can I make more money? How can I play bigger games? How can I, like, all that? And then just, I don't know, go to the shower, think about hands, like talk to poker friends all day about poker. Yeah, it's just like 100% obsessed with the game. And yeah, that puts you in a spot where you just you just dedicate yourself to it. It's just like, for a few years I was dedicating 200% of myself to the game, and at some point I just realized that I have to start balancing more, so it's kind of shifted, but it was definitely like that for a long time.
I would guess that this is probably a super common trait of high stakes player. I can't imagine that there is even like one single high stakes player that's just like, oh yeah, I kind of like that game, but never cared about it that much, and I'm just gonna put in a little bit of work here and there. No, like everybody had to
No.
work really hard, and everybody definitely had some sort of obsession with the game, but a healthy one, visibly, since they're playing high stakes successfully.
Yeah.
Actually, one of the things that shocked me, like I know poker is a very complex game with like maybe let's say like very high skill cap to unlimited, but hearing you guys talk about hands, a thing that almost like semi shocked me was how much information beyond like all the solver and stuff. Like obviously, like you guys are like looking to simplify, but how much information you're able to factor in from just having 2 cards yourself and seeing 5
Yeah.
community cards. I'm like, you guys see all of the blockers. You're seeing like the ranges so clearly compared to other players. To me, that's just mad. Like how on what deep level you guys are able to think about the game. Like you kind of have an idea, right, from from being a poker player yourself and knowing that certain people play like this game on like a whole other level, but now to actually hear you guys talk about it, I'm like, holy shit! Like, I don't even think I know like 0.5% of what you guys know. This is just crazy.
Yeah, yeah, I just think there's like so many different levels in poker,
Yeah.
like, and the differences, like from a guy who's playing a 50-cent tournament to someone who is playing, like, say, Prodigy, for example. It's just there are like, I don't know, 30 to 50, in my opinion, different playing levels in between.
Yeah.
There would be like, you know, like a bad low stakes player, a decent like, I don't know, so many different. Yeah, just, yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Watching this hand with Prodigy. Do you ever think that there might be some players in the world also that have more advanced, like, thinking than you poker wise in skill, or do you feel like at this point, having played the stakes that you've played and having the current skill that you have, there is really nobody that's like far ahead?
I think the gaps are even between some high stakes players. They can be pretty big.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you never know what you don't know, right? So you can see somebody else making certain decisions, and you can say, okay, I think he did it because of that. I think he did it because of that, right? I mean, if the decision is different than a solver play, but you can never know for sure why he did it, or like all that stuff. So you never know exactly unless you talk to the guy and he's open to talk about everything he knows. You never know exactly the gaps, but I would say the gaps are not huge, but they're definitely like between. If you take any single stake that's been played over the last year, like take, I don't know, 40k, 100k NL, whatever NL, you take any of those stakes, you take the best player in it and the worst player in it, and I'm not talking about fish, just professionals.
Yeah.
I think you might see a huge gap in some of them.
Okay.
Just because, like I said, even like a lot of small things can make one player like way better than the other. But it's just a lot of small things like that. Like someone who's watching from the side might not realize, but it's just like me, playing both of these guys every day. I would say like, listen, like this guy is like so much better than the other guy. That's why, like, Marinelli said that he thought Duty was bottom 5 in the challenge, and to me that's ludicrous. It's like like impossible. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a matter of opinion and what I see, what he sees. I don't know. Also, another thing is that I don't know. You're not always right. Like, even if you think you are, even myself, sometimes I would, like, a friend who's playing way lower than me would share a hand with me, and I would like give my opinion, and then I would be like very certain about what I think he should do. And then and it's a hand that is not like theory related. It's like out of the theory zone, just like freestyle hand, and then he would play better than me in that spot, just because he knows whatever. He had like factors that I didn't have, or like he used the factors that we had better than I did. It's you never do everything. I can have let's say I have a friend who plays 500 and maybe I have 95 areas of the game I play better than him, and then maybe he has 5 he plays better than me.
Yeah.
You never know. It's very hard to measure these things.
And
So
mostly,
that's another thing that's cool about the game. You get to learn new stuff every day, even in there were times I felt insanely sharp about theory. I was super strong and battling every day, whatever. And even then, like, I wasn't, I still learn new stuff every day, just about how to play against recreationals and stuff.
yeah.
Just by trying out stuff, seeing people do stuff, and yeah.
I guess mostly that would be due to population, right? Because like in Vegas, I play 1-3, and then the main two friends that I would ask advice from who are cash game live pros, they play 5-10 and 10-20-40, but like their game is just so entirely different than mine. Like they have no idea what's happening in 1-3. They haven't played this 1-3 for like a decade or something, or maybe if ever. So they don't know, like, people like, for example, in 1-3, they don't have any 4-bet range. Like it's just aces and kings. So it's like you have to adapt to that a lot. And then when I tell them like some of the folds I made, they would just lose it. Obviously, I'm not very good and they know stuff well, but there is for sure like other factors that maybe they might not be seeing as much, I guess.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I think I'll hang out for like 5 more minutes and then probably call it. It's starting to be a little bit late for me. It's been a pleasure hanging out with you, and okay, we'll watch you here in the spots. Okay, he had it. That's the show.
Yeah, and I didn't.
Ooh, Kevin actually getting into a big pot here with Prodigy. On 3-3-10, 9 king.
Oh yeah.
I'm just gonna let it go. That's when you wish they were all show tables, or at least more of them. We don't get to know.
Yeah. Maybe we see some of the hands at the end of the week.
Hey, it's nice. The more hands we see. Do you follow the 2+2 threads to read about some of the hands and stuff?
Not really. I used to, like, over the last few years, I just go into the thread a few times, like maybe twice a month, just to catch up, but not really. I heard there's a lot of hands going on, but I didn't really enter it yet.
Yeah, a lot of big hands are being posted. You probably see most of them, but yes, some of them must filter through. At times, maybe like you're not playing or something, or if you're too busy looking at other tables.
Yeah.
There is often talks of, in gaming it's the same. There's like the rivalry Europe and North America. And in poker, there is always like jokes, being made on both sides. Do you feel like there is a difference in the way poker is played and studied, or at this point, it's like, it doesn't matter, it's irrelevant? Like any American or any European could be very good at the game if they put the work in.
I think there has to be a separation between mid stakes and high stakes for that question.
Yeah.
So if you ask me about high stakes, I think there's already decent high stakes regulars from America. I wouldn't say like the top 5 to 10 players, but maybe like top 10 to 20. You still see some Americans. So live MTTs, for example, like the iRoller MTTs and stuff, it's similar, right? You see a bunch of these guys, crushing the high rollers for many years. So I think you definitely have maybe slightly less successful high stakes Americans than Europeans. But if you look at mid stakes, I would say the answer is very clear. That Europeans are much stronger, and the reason being is that 2011 was Black Friday, so they were excluded from European sites. And then what happened was they started playing on American sites and live poker in the US. And those games are usually a lot softer. And it's been like that for many years. So they kind of, like, let's say you're a guy who plays very soft games. So some US reg told me that Vegas is the toughest place to play poker in the US. So when you hear that, and like for us, Vegas is poker paradise, you know,
Yeah.
then you understand what's going on around the rest of the place. So yeah, it's I would say for mid stakes, they've just stayed. They're just way behind.
But do you include the PLO in that as well, or that's just Hold'em?
I have no idea about PLO, but I would imagine it's similar.
Okay.
It's just the fact of they just have way softer games, so there is less incentive to improve.
Yeah. And Learning Poker in the chat asked if Barack was open to coaching, what would he expect as an hourly?
I'm not open to coaching, and I wouldn't answer that anyway.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna head off, but thank you so much for hanging out. This was absolutely amazing. I really enjoyed it. And yeah, if you have any shout outs, now is the time.
Yeah, I enjoyed it too. Nice to meet you. And yeah, see you around. And yeah, I'll just shout out to, I hope Lama loses all his money.
Thank you, mate. Have a good night. Good luck. Take care.
See ya. Good night.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Much love, everybody. Really enjoyed yet again the stream here. Barack is absolutely awesome. I wish him all the best. And big love to Coin Poker for organizing this Cash Game World Championship. Make sure to follow them everywhere. That's CoinPoker_TV on YouTube, CoinPoker_off on X, and CoinPoker on Instagram. Big love to you guys in the chat as well, interacting, asking questions. I made sure to ask a whole bunch of them. I'm sure we'll be back tomorrow with more. And yeah, just stay tuned for more, guys. We're going to keep updating the leaderboards daily. Keep you guys posted. This goes on through most of this month. There's just going to be a 1 week break from the 23rd. But other than that, it's going on every day. So yeah, much love, guys. We'll see you tomorrow, although technically it's 3 a.m. So later today.